quickly above cash buyer, no hassles, delays, or problems. With Gloria Lou, two things are always guaranteed: your home sale and your price. Call Gloria today and get your cash offer at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Drafty old windows make your home uncomfortable and really drive up energy bills. The solution? Modern, gorgeous Infinity by Marvin fiberglass windows installed by Lakeside, the exclusive Infinity Windows dealer in St. Louis. Custom-fit, energy-efficient Infinity by Marvin windows are 8 times stronger than vinyl. They block the cold and keep your home cozy and bright. Request a free windows consultation from Lakeside Renovation and Design at 636-978-5000. That's 636-978-5000. You'll love your home all over again.
Worried about what you're breathing in? With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules. Download the Odyssey app to discover hundreds of new exclusive music stations available now. For music fans, by music fans. Music stations specific to your taste, now available through the Odyssey app. It's all at Odyssey.com. This hour of the Annie Fry Show is sponsored by the Loading Dock, with a unique and beautiful ice skating rink to enjoy this time of year. Go to GraftonLoadingDock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome to the Annie Fry Show. Happy Monday. I'm very glad to be with you, but boy, I'm surprised that I am. It's been a day, people. It's been a day. Hope your Monday is going a little bit better than mine. I struggle to, there's so much to talk about right now. We've got Mark Krikorian coming up in about 15 minutes or so. We're going to talk a little bit about that Remain in Mexico policy that the Biden administration is now, from what I understand, being forced to re-implement. What is going on there, and is it going to make our country safer? I don't have the answers to that question, but Mark Krikorian does with the Center for Immigration Studies. So he's going to tell us in 15 minutes. We've got Stephen Moore on. Isn't his normal spot 110? Is he on at 110 or 125?
He's on at 125 today.
Today?
Yes.
But that's just today. That's not the new time.
We can put him on at 110, but I just went off of the show sheet.
Oh, okay. Well, normally he would be on at 110, but today he will be on at 125. So with everything that's going on in the economy right now, you're going to want to be sure to listen into him, because that Democrat Build Back Better spending bill is ominous, folks. It's very ominous. Can I field a request that we can stop trying to turn Build Back Better, just like stop coming up with other words to start with B, to put them in there to illustrate how dumb and bad this plan is? Everybody does it. I think I've probably done it. I don't know if I've done it. I've repeated it. Build back broker, build back, I don't know, badly. It's just, it's a thing. And I have, maybe if I heard one that I thought was like really good, I'd say go with that one. I just haven't heard one yet. Stephen Moore's probably going to say that at 125, and we'll just roll with it. But full show with you, with the two of those there. And like I said, it's been a Monday for me, and I'm glad that you are here. If you have suggestions on how to break a case of the Mondays, I need them from you. Send them to me on the live chat, which you can watch and see my, I just threw on my makeup like legitimately 8 minutes ago, and I took my hair down, which is still wet from the shower that I took this morning. And I'm fully dressed, which is great. And I have all of my parts and my health. So I should be happy, right? It started at 8:30 with a call from a sick babysitter, which happens. And, you and I both, we now live in a time where if somebody's sick, you don't want them to be around your kid. So totally fine. Appreciated the early call. And then it kind of just like tumbled from there. I had our other babysitter. So we use 2 babysitters regularly during the week. Our normal babysitter for the other days was like conveniently located at that point in time when I messaged her right around the corner from her house. She's like, "Oh, I'll come pick her up." So that crisis was averted. But then things started to get a little crazier from there. The biggest of which is I lost my keys. What do you do when you lose a key? We used to have cars where you would have spare keys laying around that you would go get made. But now keys are like mini computers. But what your key does for your car? I mean, isn't there a place in my car where I can put a key in to start it? Like, don't all touch button, don't they still have like a place?
Man, I'm not sure. I don't think that there is. Some of them have like a slot for a key fob, but that's also your start button. I don't think if you've got a start button, I think you just keep your key on you or throw it in the cup holder or whatever. And
well,
that's
I know
how you
that.
start
That's
it.
how I drive my car every day. I'm talking about when I don't have, if I didn't have my actual key fob, because most key fobs come with a key in them. From what I understand, I didn't know this. I just found this out this weekend from our good friends that there's a place on your door handle that pops up where you can actually, if you use a fob normally, you clip up this place. I encourage you to Google it, not go off my words. And so you can use your car physical key to unlock your door if your fob battery dies or if it's just not working right. But I don't know about starting the actual vehicle.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's a place for that or not. I know that's like, do you have a valet key? I think is what they call it.
That's the key that gets you into the car in the hidden place.
That should be able to start your car some way.
Yeah, I think it does, but it doesn't matter. I don't have any of that right now. So it's calling my husband. His phone was going straight to voicemail. And as a teacher, usually what I'll do is I'll just message him and he'll get back to me when it's convenient and appropriate for him to, most of those times those conversations are, who's getting the kids after? You're getting these 2 kids. I'm getting those 2 kids. When we meet the sitter, when do we get back to school for basketball? Blah, blah, blah. And so that's just a ping pong all day of those. I couldn't get a hold of him. So his phone was on the fritz or something. So I finally had to call the school secretary. And here's the thing. My time with you starts at noon. From noon to 3, I'm yours. You and I, we're here together. We spend the afternoon together. And that's the priority. So I need to get everything in line before noon. It was a really close one today. It almost like coming in at the very, very end. It was a photo finish. So if you're having a case of the Mondays, people are on the live chat suggesting different things. One said here, where was that one? Goldschlager, 2 shots. Really? On a Monday, Monday morning. I don't know if that's really, it might make for a better show. At least to a certain extent, probably till about 2:05. Get the 2 shots, 2 hours of quality radio, and then I need a nap. Isn't 2 shots like nap territory?
I have no idea.
Mm.
What is Annie on 2 shots of Goldschlager like?
Annie on 2 shots of anything is not that I hold my liquor very well. So I'm seeing a lot of other people are having a case of the Mondays. So welcome. We'll just do this Monday thing together, right? So Chris Cuomo, his Mondays are all going to be the same now for the time being, same as his Saturdays. Chris Cuomo fired from CNN. We talked about this quite a bit on the show over the course of the last week or so. And I kept reminding everybody, he's been suspended indefinitely. He has not been fired. Well, this weekend he was fired. I'm actually kind of surprised by this. I was expecting there to be a suspension period of maybe 4 to 6 weeks, which I thought would just be to take the temperature of the room to say, hey, people are kind of, we got in a lot of contact of people wanting Chris Cuomo back. And I think people are pretty much over this. And, here's the thing. If you go to CNN.com, there is an article explaining what happened and it's written by Brian Stelter. I think that is the weirdest thing ever. Did you see that article?
I didn't see the article, but I saw some of Stelter's comments and stuff on it.
I've seen spattered about suggestions that Stelter was not a Cuomo fan. So I don't know. Everybody has their internal beefs. Everybody, if you work at the grocery store, you might not like the lady who works aisle 10 checkout. Maybe she lets people who have 12 items check out in the 10 or less lane, and you can't stand her. Do you count? Have you ever counted someone's items?
Oh, when they go into a 10 items or less?
If you have 3 items and someone's unloading their cart, are you counting?
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
Are you saying something?
Depends on
your hesitation makes me concerned, Brad.
There is I do have a threshold. Like if it's like 10 items or less and you have 12 or 15, I don't care. But like if you're unloading 40 items,
what are you saying? That's 10 you need to get in the back of the line for your next 10.
I'm gonna look at them and be like, seriously, you think it's okay for you to jump in this line?
You're accosting the people. I mean, I could understand like a stern glare.
No, yeah, I'll say something.
Oh my gosh. Do you? I need to know. Maybe I'm I'm like somebody who doesn't mind standing up and saying something. I might, it depends on my hurry. I might be a little, I don't know. There's the visual, there's the look that you give someone, and then there's the audible, what I would call the audible look, which is a
look at me so I can look at you.
It's like, okay, I'm shooting you the dirtiest of looks, and you are clearly not paying attention. Let me get your attention. And then you deliver said look again. Brad just goes straight to the accosting.
No, it's a step up, a ramp up to it. But yeah.
So what does this sound like? Ryan Wiggins is in the 10 or less lane, and he's got 22 items.
So I don't know the person at all?
No. Ryan Wiggins is a complete stranger.
It's going to sound a lot like a substitute teacher or a teacher. It's like this lane is for people with items 10 or less.
So you're going to say that to the person?
Yes.
And what if they say, okay, and then they just keep going about their business?
I will make it a point that like, I'm going to let it slide this time, but don't let it happen again.
Brad. I'm just going to take you with me to handle my problems. I'll pay you.
I'm down.
I'm going to be in the lane behind Ryan Wiggins, who has 22 items in the 10 or less line. And I'm going to be like, I'm totally okay with this, but this guy just can't. So I'm just going to let him talk to you, but I'm okay with it. Brad?
It's going to get really awkward when you hand me the check afterwards.
Well, it just won't be in public.
There you go.
You remember, who was it that was the anger interpreter of Barack Obama at the political correspondence dinner? You remember that?
I don't.
Obama was up there.
Look this up.
It's like Key and
Peele.
I don't know who they are. The only thing that I know about them is that they are the super colorful characters in Toy Story 72 or whatever the last one was. So that is my exposure to them. They're very successful people. I'm not disparaging their success, but one of them was up there, and Barack Obama was saying his, air quotes, eloquently said such and such, and then he would interpret it in like the emotion that Obama had. I think this is the way I remember it, that he wasn't showing. You could be that guy.
I would absolutely love to be that guy.
I'll just stand here with my hands folded in front of me, smiling and looking very timid, as I am known to be.
Yeah.
I need to know how many people are aggressing the Ryan Wigginses of the world who have 22 items in the 10 or less lane.
If you don't say anything, it will never get better.
Is it gonna make it better?
If enough people say something, if it becomes socially unacceptable to do it, and it's more than just an eye roll or a loud sigh, then yeah, eventually people will stop doing it. Now, you will always have that one person who don't care what you think, but if it becomes socially unacceptable to do it, it will change. It's just like anything else that's become socially unacceptable. It'll change.
I don't know. It seems to me like that ends in a fist fight. Half the time someone's like, "Oh, I'm never going to do that again." That guy really showed me the error of my ways. And the other guy's like, "I'm going to punch you in the face." Does it matter who the person is? If it's Ryan Wiggins or if it's a little old lady?
It does matter. Like if I see a mom with
You'd be more aggressive towards a little old lady because you think you can beat her into submission?
Yeah. No,
wait, what about Ryan Wiggins? Can you take Ryan?
I don't know.
Sounds like an Andy Fried Show promotion.
I do. We could do a fundraiser. Brad versus Ryan.
By the way, when I tell stories about stuff that happened in the studio, like if I'm repeating something to my husband or friends later on, I usually accidentally call you guys Brian. So it's like your couple name.
We have a couple name?
Yeah, it's weird. It's not on purpose.
This is weird.
I know. I wonder how he feels about it.
I don't know. Let's ask him when he gets in here.
It's either that or Rad.
I like that one better.
I don't. I don't. So, immediate apologies for basically everything that happens today, because I'm just kind of like, I couldn't find my keys. I never found my keys. I drove here in somebody else's car.
But
the person who had 22 items is like, oh, you got the time in the world. Well, I'm gonna go take your car and go to work because I can't get to work. No, it was my dad's. Thanks, Dad. Appreciate it a lot. Had my other babysitter bail me out. My parents bailed me out. And you're bailing me out because, in theory, if you can hear me saying this, you're still listening to the show, which is just fantastic. And I'm grateful for you because I know some days you may feel like you need me, but every day I need you. And I especially need you today. So thank you for being here. Mark Krikorian with the Center for Immigration Studies is going to be on with us. He is their executive director in just a minute. We're going to talk about this Remain in Mexico policy. Did the Biden administration see the error of their ways and say, man, that Trump policy, that was genius. Let's go back to that. Or is it something else? Hint, something else. And is it going to make an actual effective difference in the flood of people who are coming into our country? Let's talk to the Center for Immigration Studies and Mark Krikorian in just a minute. Happy freaking Monday, folks. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
It wasn't Donald Trump and the fake news claims that led us to this point.
Mark Cox talks lack of trust in the media and being at the conservative end of the radio dial in the latest What the Media podcast. Find it now on Apple Podcasts and the Odyssey app.
Light up the holidays with an unforgettable gift from Shane Company.
A dazzling mosaic ring covered with diamonds and blue sapphires, because you really want to knock it out of the park this year.
Princess cut diamond solitaire earrings, because you want her to have the very best.
A 14-karat gold Miami Cuban chain, because he's the strongest link.
Come to Shane Company for the largest selection of classic gifts from hundreds of dollars to thousands. Unique fine jewelry made with natural diamonds, rubies, and sapphires selected for their beauty. We have the highest standards for quality and craftsmanship. Whether it's your first holiday together or you've shared a lifetime of love, your gift will be truly special. Visit our store or check out our online gift guide for memorable holiday gifts that'll be treasured for a lifetime. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
Spectrum Business is proud to support small businesses with the best internet and phone services at the best value. But we want to do more. So now, for a limited time, get 1 month of services for free. That's right, 1 month on us. Get 200 megabit per second internet and business phone, and even TV, all free for 1 month, plus free installation. Call 855-757-4544 or visit spectrum.com/business today. Restrictions apply.
If you filed a tax extension in April, don't wait until it's too late to handle your tax issues. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm. Every year, thousands of Missourians file extensions when their taxes are due in April. But what people don't know is the extension only moves your deadline to file your return, not to pay your taxes. So if you didn't pay anything back in April, you could now owe taxes plus interest plus penalties. You think you bought yourself time, but really you've just added to the total bill. If this sounds like you, call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I am a local tax attorney with an A+ BBB rating, and I will meet with you right away to help handle your tax problems quickly. The deadline to file your return after an extension has already passed, so call the Lance Drury Law Firm now before it's too late. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-238-7360, or go to Lance, DRURYlaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Is your retirement income at risk if you or your spouse needs nursing home or in-home care? Hi. I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. The cost of long-term care is one of the biggest risks in retirement planning. For many retirees, a single nursing home stay can cause a significant reduction in assets that can permanently reduce your retirement income. Fortunately, there are affordable and flexible options available today that can help you manage the cost of long-term care. Our team can help you address the risks relevant to your retirement including long-term care. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Diamonds Direct is giving you one more holiday gift of 25% savings just in time for Christmas. A last-minute sale on all earrings this weekend. Yes, save an unprecedented 25% off all earrings at Diamonds Direct. Diamond earrings, sapphire earrings, gold earrings. Get Diamonds Direct's unbeatable price plus an extra 25% savings. Whole diamond studs are included, so this is huge. Special financing too. It's Friday through Sunday only. A truly epic earring event at Diamonds Direct. Details, directions, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
So long ago, I don't remember when.
When we talk about mass migration, as far as the reinstatement of the Remain in Mexico policy, that still remains to be seen. We're 10 months into this crisis, and I can tell you right now, the criminal organizations, smuggling organizations are profiting off this crisis. And I can tell you it's going to be very difficult for them just to sit back and close up shop. That's not going to happen. They're making millions and millions of dollars a week off of this crisis, just off of human smuggling. So again, that remains to be seen how effective the Remain in Mexico policy is going to take place as far as this current crisis goes.
So the Remain in Mexico policy being reinstated, you've heard this. The Biden administration hasn't done a whole lot, but they've done a whole lot by not doing a whole lot when it comes to immigration, and the problem seems to have gotten worse and worse. This is a pretty significant change. Why did it happen? What does it mean, and will it make a difference? Well, let's go to our expert. Mark Krikorian joins us now, the Executive Director for the Center for Immigration Studies. Mark, thank you so much for coming on to the show with us. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Well, thanks for having me.
Of course. So I guess let's start brass tacks. I'm a firm believer that a lot of people hear things like Remain in Mexico policy. They associate it with Trump, and if they like Trump, they're for it. If they hate Trump, they're against it. Let's talk about what the actual policy is in the first place.
Yeah, the policy is based on something that's authorized in federal law. And what the law says is that if the federal government takes an illegal immigrant into custody, somebody came across the border, says they want to apply for asylum, under the law, one of two things is required to happen. Either that person is detained, held in detention until his case is resolved, or he's made to wait outside the country until his hearing comes up. So the point is to prevent people from just using the magic word of asylum as a way to just get let go into the United States. Well, guess what Biden's been doing for all this time? You say asylum, especially if you got a kid with you, they just let you go. Well, Texas and Missouri sued the federal government. They said, look, this is just illegal. You can't do this. And it's costing us money, the states, so that gives them the right to go into court. And the judge said, look, to the administration, either you're going to detain these people or you got to restart Remain in Mexico. And so what they're doing, months after the judge ordered this, I think something like 4 months, they got Mexico to agree, because these are non-Mexicans. Mexico doesn't have to take them back if they don't want. And they're starting today, but with it's watered it down a lot from what Trump had. There's all kinds of exceptions, people it's not going to apply to. But, I don't know. And I'm a glass half full kind of guy, so It's better than nothing. But, let's see how much of this, whether they actually pursue it or whether this is really just going to be kind of half-hearted for show.
So just for clarification, speaking right now with Mark Krikorian, the reason that this policy has been put back into place, what is the actual purpose with which, or motivation as to why we're going back to something that is somewhat deemed a Trump policy?
Well, because federal court told the Biden administration they have to do this. In other words, they're going to be held in contempt eventually if they didn't do this. So that so they have no choice, and that's what they're telling. That's what the Biden people are telling their left-wing cadres: is look, our hands are tied. There's nothing we can do about it. A judge is making us do this. But are they going to implement it with, seriously, with enthusiasm, or are they going to do the absolute minimum they can do without somebody being held in contempt by the judge and locked up in jail?
Well, I'm thinking that, especially at the Center for Immigration Studies, you're looking into the motivations as to why people decide to come across our southern border. I've heard a lot of reports suggest that people feel incentivized. People feel motivated right now, specifically by this administration. Like, now's the time to do this. Let's get across the border because Biden's the president, and this is the time for us to go. Does this policy being put back in place tap the brakes at all on how people might feel about the motivation to come across the border at this time?
Maybe a little bit. I mean, it's going to be, as they say, the proof's in the pudding. We'll have to see over the next couple of months if it makes any difference. It might a little bit. Actually, the numbers at the border, even though they are now still at historic highs, they have come down over the past couple of months because the administration's been doing a couple other things. They actually are deporting some family members, some, mothers and kids back to Central America. Most of them are still being let go, but some of them are being sent back. So there's a little bit of enforcement these guys are doing, and even a little bit, can be helpful, but it's not going to stick because once the smugglers, as you suggested before I came on, once the smugglers figure out how they can get around this, they have an incentive and the aliens have an incentive to keep coming. So, it'll have a little effect, I think. I mean, it's not going to not have any effect. It's not completely useless. But unless this administration gets consistent in enforcing not just the border, but enforcing the laws inside the country, it's not going to make enough difference. And just if I can give another plug, we just released a report this today at our website, CIS.org, that shows deportations from inside the country. These are people who've gotten beyond the border, have collapsed under Biden. And even the deportation of criminals has gone down something like 2/3 compared to 2019. So this one thing, Remain in Mexico, might help a little, but it's not on its own going to fix the border or fix Biden's political problems because of this disaster he created.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. Deportations plummet under Biden enforcement policies. Removal of aliens with serious criminal convictions declined 65% since 2019. Mark, we're 10 and a half months into this administration. Aside from a veto-proof majority, which is, I think, statistically impossible in the Senate with the seats that are up, that's not going to happen. We've got 3+ more years of the Biden administration. How bad is it going to get for the flood of people who are coming here and remaining here, who aren't being deported back to the countries where they came from? How bad is this going to get?
It's going to get pretty bad. We got 3 years left of this. And, what we saw under Obama was when the border became a real disaster in 2014, they did take some steps. The next year, 2015, the numbers at the border did go down a little, and then they just went up the next year again. So I think something similar would happen here. This administration is much less serious about border enforcement than Obama. I mean, I'm pining for the good old days of the Obama Homeland Security Department. I mean, it's that bad. So the numbers could go down, in the coming year a little bit, but not all that much to make a difference, and they're just going to go right back up again. So this is a bad for policy. I mean, it's just bad for America, but it's a political disaster for the Democrats because they just can't do what they need to do to control this. Because even the little things they're doing, the kind of watered down, half-hearted steps toward enforcement they're taking, like this Remain in Mexico restart, their heart isn't in it, and it's not going to fix the problem. And their own people in Congress and outside, activists, are outraged. I mean, they're going berserk because they're saying, well, this is just the second Trump administration, that kind of thing. So, it's, in a sense, it's going to be bad. But you have to be, the only reason I've been able to do this for 25 years is I'm kind of laid back about this. You have to sort of have the popcorn and kind of enjoy it, even though this is leading to all kinds of bad results for the country. It's a disaster politically for the Democrats.
You mentioned this political peril that the Democrats are putting themselves into. I look at this and, we talk about the problem and how the problem is going to get worse and what they're doing isn't helping the problem. But it makes me wonder if the Biden administration sees what's happening as a problem, or more so the people who are really pushing and motivating and influencing the Biden administration. If this is what they want, and I can't put myself in the mind frame to be happy with the status quo the way it is as of right now. If this is what they want, then they're not going to solve it because it's not a problem to them. To me, it sounds like you're talking about Democratic voters, not the political talking heads necessarily, or the elected officials who live most of their lives in Washington, D.C. Do you find that this to be a pretty bipartisan issue for voters across the country, not just on the border states?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the public opinion polling clearly shows people who identify as Democrats are less hostile to Biden's immigration policies, but they're not happy about it. And, this is really an opening for Republicans, especially when combined with the broader pro-worker push that the new Republican Party, under Trump and Trumpism, has been pushing. And that there's an opening here for a real realignment. In a sense, the Democrats are pushing what amounts to kind of a realignment where working class voters, including Black and Hispanic Americans, are going to be moving toward Republicans. So in a kind of cynical sense, it's almost good for Republicans that Biden is doing this and they have no way to really stop it, because it's basically just setting a time bomb off under the Democratic Party's prospects. So it'd be interesting to see what happens here. But this, every day this goes on is, that much is going to mean that the Republican results in next November are going to be that much better in Congress.
You've brought up, Mark, some minorities. People of color, I've seen these polls, and I'm not really much on polls particularly, but I've seen there to be a sentiment of frustration because the people who come across the border have become a priority for the Democratic Party, non-citizens here, and the Democrats have made minorities a priority previously politically. That's been a key point for them. Is that something that you're seeing at the Center for Immigration Studies, where this shift in these demographics is potentially effective in the way people might cast their ballots in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we already saw some of that in Hispanic communities, not just in South Texas, but around the country, especially in South Texas, where a lot of Hispanic American voters, they've been voting Democratic, kind of, the way ethnic voters in the, say, 40s and 50s and 60s were voting Democrat. They were just voting for FDR, even though FDR wasn't in the picture anymore. It's a similar phenomenon. And yet, especially if you look at Hispanics in South Texas, they're Texans. They drive pickup trucks, they got gun racks, and a lot of them have been in the military. I mean, they're normal patriotic Americans. They just have a Z at the end of their name. So what? And they've been voting kind of automatically Democratic for a long time, but both the Democratic and Republican parties are changing. And it's not even just immigration, obviously. It's all this transgender stuff and everything else. And there's more and more minority voters who are just saying, this is just a bridge too far for us. I mean, we're getting off this bus. The Republicans have an opportunity. Now, they may blow it. Republican Party is colloquially known as the stupid party here in D.C. for a good reason. But there's a real opportunity, I think, for Republicans if they know how to handle this right, to make enormous political gains.
Well, Executive Director Mark Krikorian, thank you so much for your time today. I'm going to direct people to check out that article with Center for Immigration Studies talking about these deportations and how they have just gone down and down and declined so much under this administration. People need to be paying attention, and the Center for Immigration Studies is always providing that information for folks who want to be in the know. Thank you so much today, Mark. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you again. I am so frustrated at these conversations. We can have these on a regular basis. I have it with Jim Carafano on Tuesdays on a regular basis, where we go, with two hands, you point at the border and you go, come on, people, we got to fix this. And if the other side's like, fix what? Well, we're kind of stuck, right? And again, we seem to say this at least on a weekly basis. We're only 10 and a half months into this administration. And this is the type of thing that is going to have a significantly generational lasting effect on the United States of America. Each day that passes where we don't have our southern border under control so that people can come here in a structure that we have set up for them because that exists. Every day that we continue to allow these people to flood our southern border or to come in the country and overstay their visas, which is another significant issue, we're asking for trouble down the road. If we don't have laws, then there's nothing that we can do to enforce them. If we're not going to enforce them, we're not going to have laws. It's just essentially where we are at with this. And it makes you want to pull your hair out, doesn't it? All right, stick around. Ryan Wiggins going to join us in studio for Wiggins America here in just a minute. It's something about metal detecting, and I couldn't possibly scoop that. So you will want to, I promise you want to stick around to hear this. In fairness, he gave me 2 topics, and this is the one I picked because he piqued my curiosity. So stick around. Ryan Wiggins in studio with us in a minute.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show. The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Jesse Jane Dubbs. I would like to say something about Bob Dole. In 2016, the Republican convention, none of the previous nominees or presidents for the Republican Party showed up but Bob Dole. Not one.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
So Allies for Health, I've been talking to you about our newest partner, Dr. Congas, Dr. Joe Congas. I am so excited to be able to talk to you about this type of medical practice, pediatric care, concierge pediatric care. If you were looking for a doctor out there, this is I had a conversation with him. We were talking about how he goes about his practice. You know, I've got 4 kids. I know what it's like to go to a pediatrician, and I have friends who go to the pediatrician and they raise their kids, and we do it different ways. We love each other. We're great friends, but we're different people, and we parent differently, and we have different kids, and that's okay. When you go to Dr. Joe Congas, he believes it's his job to give you medical advice, and he believes it's the parent's job to take that medical advice and do what's best for their children. I adore that, and I have a feeling that you do as well. If you're looking for a direct care practice in Edwardsville and St. Peters, if you're looking for a concierge practice, direct access to Dr. Congas, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 days a week, plus a nurse's line after hours, meet Dr. Joe. Please check out his website so you can learn more about if it's right for you. I know that you'll be happy that you did. Allies, 4 health.com/Annie Fry.
Guys, 2021's been a roller coaster year, so spoil her this Christmas by giving her the next best thing to wearing nothing at all with soft, silky, naturally nude pajamas exclusively from Pajamagram, America's PJ experts. Sensuous and smooth, naturally nude pajamas feel just like her own bare skin. Even more alluring than lingerie, the texture and touch of these pajamas is so seductive that you'll both love the feel of them. She'll love the feeling of wearing next to nothing at all, and you'll love the way they look. Check them out at Pajamagram.com. Best of all, Pajamagram does the wrapping for you with free gift packaging. Order today, and Pajamagram will also include a free matching naturally nude nightie with the purchase of naturally nude pajamas. That's free gift packaging and a free naturally nude nightie when you order today. Just go to Pajamagram.com. It's fast, easy, and delivery by Christmas is guaranteed. That's Pajamagram.com.
At Performance Eye Care, we put the utmost care in our eye exams. If you're avoiding your eye appointment because you fear the dreaded air puff, or you're scared of leaving with dilated eyes for the rest of the day, worry no more. By utilizing the latest technology, we've been able to eliminate the uncomfortable air puff, and we don't need to dilate your eyes. That means no anticipatory blinking and no discomfort. Just a simple, state-of-the-art instrument yielding more accurate results. Now is the time to use up your FSA, HSA, and vision insurance coverage before the end of the year. You can apply your FSA and health spending accounts on exams, contact lenses, and even eyeglasses. We can verify your coverage and still get you in before the end of the year so you don't lose your benefits. Make an appointment with one of our friendly eye care professionals at any of our 8 metro area locations on both sides of the river at performanceeyecare.com. That's performanceeyecare.com.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. Wonderlight's Christmas in St. Louis is back. Worldwide Technology Raceway proudly hosts the holliest, jolliest event in the area, celebrating from now until January 9th. Open nightly, rain, shine, or snow, including holidays. Tickets available at the gate and online at wonderlightschristmas.com.
If you're dealing with stuffy mornings and sleepless nights, the air in your home might be to blame. Scott Lee Heating can help make your indoor air absolutely perfect with reliable Lennox products. Call Scott Lee Heating today at 314-756-9444 or visit us online at scottleeheating.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. In addition to heating and cooling, Air Comfort Service also offers indoor air quality, water heater, and AeroSeal duct sealing services. Get in your comfort zone with aircomfortservice.com.
Up to the minute traffic reports, so you don't have to keep looking at your phone. Dependable traffic on 97.1 FM Talk. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is a new bird. He sings a love song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman, then pretend that he is.
So we have an update on my key situation.
Ooh, let's hear it.
See these keys?
Ooh, somebody took a picture of a key and sent it to you. The question is that your key?
It is my key.
Congratulations.
From my husband, they were in my coat. I'm very sorry.
They were in his coat?
Yeah, you took them to work with him.
Oh, yeah, he should be sorry.
The good news is that it's a $300 replacement for that key. And I told Brad this before. I go, I am freaking out because I spent 6 hours raking leaves, which is the worst yard work you can possibly do. I didn't know that until this weekend, but I don't know. And I looked everywhere else and I knew that the last time I drove the car was in the middle of raking leaves. So you know what that means?
Keys are in the leaves.
We had 10 bags of leaves that we put together and they're all still sitting out there. It got to the point where we ran out of, I blew leaves for an hour after the sun went down. And I ended up blowing them all on the west side of my garage so that if the wind blew, because I didn't have anywhere else to put them and I didn't have any more sunlight. So I was like, I'm going to put them here. And if they blow, they'll blow up against the garage on my property. And I'll just deal with them some other time. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm gonna have to go in those leaves.
Prediction: you're gonna have a great show today because that is such a weight off your shoulders, knowing that you have that thing.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I haven't messaged him that. I will think about it for a minute.
Yeah, let it settle. Let it settle.
Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. This is not Annie's segment. This is Wiggins America. Let's
Wiggins. Oh, Wiggins.
I have to say too that on a Monday of Mondays, Ryan brought me macarons from France in Epcot.
Mm-hmm. France
and
Epcot.
This was a day that I needed a good thing to happen. And I'm just staring at these thinking, like, how many of these can I eat on the air without you knowing as a listener?
I can't believe you haven't eaten any yet during Mark Krikorian. Just hit mute while you're...
That's so gross. I just grossed myself out.
Yes, you did.
Jared, are you listening? If you're not, just let
Get
you think
ready
about
for
it.
You are going to get a text.
No, I'm so glad. I'm so glad he found my keys. You know one way you can find keys if you lose them?
No.
With a metal detector?
Oh, that's a great transition because coincidentally, the story that I have today is about a metal detector.
You know, it's not every day you get to do a metal detector segue, and I just nailed it, and you just were like, staring at me like you're like, ooh, what's she gonna say
What's she
next?
gonna, well, I don't know how you're gonna transition into this from keys.
I did it, and I tossed you the ball, and you just
sure
went,
did.
And you
I
watched
was-
the ball go right past you.
No, I was impressed. I caught it. I just didn't know.
No, you were watching the show that you were on.
Yeah, I was, because I was like, what is going to
You're
happen
like,
here?
This is so exciting.
How's she going to get to what I'm doing?
We're talking
from
about
a key?
keys and leaves. Where does this go next? I don't know.
Super impressed. Like I said, you're going to have a great show, and you already are, because the weight of the world is lifted off your shoulders now. So here's
I'm
the
gonna
deal.
eat some cookies and put some of that weight back on.
I said, there's only 6 of them, so I don't know that you can be that impressed by that gift. But
How
you go ahead. Yeah.
do these cookies?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. That was so not what you meant. Are these cookies one bite for you, or do you take a bite?
Oh no, those cookies are too expensive to be one bite.
Savor. Do you?
Yeah.
Are you a macaron guy?
I don't know.
Oh my god, they're so good.
Oh, you're kidding? You've never had one?
No.
If you are a textural,
Maybe I have.
texture eater, which I am way more texture than flavor, macarons are where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's the same size of an Oreo.
They
Do you
look
eat an
delicious.
Oreo in bites?
No, I eat them in one bite. But those, like you said, you have to savor them, because you can get them in St. Louis, though. You don't have
Sure.
to go to Paris Epcot
No.
to get them.
But if you can,
But
you
if you
should.
can,
Anyway,
if
you can't find macarons with a metal detector.
no, you can't. That's a great transition, Annie, because you can't. Annie. So, anybody know Millie Hardwick? No? Well, you're about to, because
What if
I
I
thought
did?
this was a cool story.
Millie?
I know most of the time I'm bringing like
Oh,
news,
Millie
but
Hardwick?
I just thought this was cool. Oh, Millie Hardwick. She's 13 years old. She's in England. She found a treasure trove of bronze.
Millie Hardwick
yeah.
is 13.
She's 13 years
I
old.
thought she was 82.
Nope. Other end of the spectrum.
Okay.
She was walking around with a metal detector in her own yard in England
Mm-hmm.
and found a treasure trove of artifacts from the Bronze Age. And I love these kinds of stories.
So bronze is detected. That's
It's metal.
okay.
It's I guess the first of the metal ages, right? Bronze was the first
Let
one.
me think about that. Was that the first one?
They say it was between 2300 BC and 800 BC that these artifacts came from.
Mhm.
They are worth a ton of money, but nobody knows yet because they haven't been appraised. The thing is, though, because they found all this stuff. They found axe heads and did anybody know? Like you would know, cake.
Wait.
ignat?
What
is that, cake ignat?
What just happened there?
It's
You said out loud, does anybody know you cut yourself off and you pointed at Brad and go, well, you would know.
What is
What
a,
is that?
Because what is a cake ignat?
I'm not going to tell you
me
now.
what it
I'm
is
not going to tell you
and
now.
prove me
No,
wrong.
I'm not
Is
going
it
to tell
an
you now.
Ignat or ingot?
Probably ingot. Cake ingot. Yeah,
So
I said
you know-
ignat.
An ignat. I can't
Go
say
ahead.
it now. You messed me up. Ingot. An ingot is that like like a gold bar.
Say, look,
That's an ingot.
He's proving everything
But
that
it
I
took him
assumed.
way longer to explain it than it would have taken me.
It took me longer to pronounce it.
If you want to assume that I know and don't know certain things, then I'm just not
Wait,
going to.
what is an ingot again?
It's like
Could
it's
he
just a-
literally make anything up right now and you'd
Yes.
be like, okay,
I absolutely could.
go for it, Brad?
That makes me want to make stuff up.
You
but
should,
I
'cause
can't
neither
right
one
now
of
off
us
the
would
top of my
know.
head. It's just like the mold that they pour the particular metal into to store it. So like gold bars are poured into ingots. You can
What
have
is a
iron-
cake ingot?
It's probably the shape. I don't know
Of a
specifically.
cake?
Yeah, it's probably like a round ingot.
They were making cakes
Can't believe you
23
don't know.
No,
what
you
this
don't
is.
100
eat 'em.
BC. Okay, and blade fragments. Anyway, the point of the story is that it's a lot of fun, and I had a
This is
personal.
all incredibly useful information.
Well, I just wanted to share this because just this summer, I looked out my back window and saw some guys walking around in the yard behind me. It wasn't my yard, but I thought, who are these people? And they were
Mhm.
walking around with metal detectors. Well, my yard, just like probably every other yard in the United States, used to be a farm. And they had gotten permission. So we're butted up against an old farm, but they had gotten permission.
You want to give me your
from-
address?
Yeah, I do, but not now. Just like your answer to the ingots.
I'm still not telling you. I'm so offended.
On the break, you can fill me in.
Yes, I will. I will fill you in.
But anyway, these guys were walking around, and so I walked outside with my son, who had been walking around earlier that day with a fake metal detector as a toy,
Really?
and was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I was just out there doing this, and now there's real people out there doing it." And they found old bells and they found old coins, and it was super interesting. And so I don't know how much any of that stuff ended up being worth, but apparently in England, if you find this treasure trove of Bronze Age artifacts.
Don't tell me.
Go ahead.
It belongs to England?
It belongs to England.
Oh my gosh. There's no point in doing it.
Isn't that horrible?
Unless you just hide it and don't tell anybody.
Exactly. They said anything above 10% gold or 10% silver belongs to the government.
That's insane.
Isn't it?
Don't
It's
say
your
these
land.
things out loud. Pretty soon we're going to do that crap too.
I know. No. We've got mineral rights in this country, and they are not going away.
My mom is an amateur metal detector.
You should have brought this up earlier.
Nope. I'm too busy keeping all the things I know about. What'd you say? Cake rigs?
Yep. Ingots.
Ingots, obviously.
Obviously.
She loves to. My parents live on a centennial farm. It's actually like it's over 120 years old now. And the farm where they live used to be the Mississippi River Basin. And no Native Americans, because, we have a lot of Native American history right here along the Mississippi River. And some of the things that they've been able to find have been really, really awesome. Even like if you find like a little toy car, knowing it's a centennial generational farm, you think, was this something that great grandpa played with? This little toy car out by the barn or whatever it is. So actually, I think metal detecting is pretty cool.
I would think there's a lot on your farm that you couldn't find with a metal detector because
there's a lot
metal.
of arrowheads and stuff like that they anytime they till, they like to go out and walk and see if anything comes up. All right, cool. Thanks. I'm going to eat some cookies now and talk ingots. Ingots. I'm probably swearing and I don't even know it.
You're kicked off the air.
Who's next hour? Stephen Moore and you. Stick around. We'll be right back.
If you want to lose weight before Christmas, try Slim 180. Mark Cox here telling you about a great deal right now. Get with a friend, get with a loved one or a family member, and buy one, get one free at Slim 180 for 1 month only. This is a great deal. If you don't want to start right now, you can begin whenever you want, but go to Slim 180. There are 6 convenient locations: O'Fallon, St. Charles, Sunset Hills, Creve Coeur, Chesterfield, and Florissant. You work with counselors and doctors one-on-one in person to help you get the weight off. If you don't want the 2-for-1 deal and you're going to try it by yourself, right now they'll give you 25% off just for mentioning this ad. I'm on Slim 180. I'm down 12 pounds already. I'm going to lose 20 before it's over with. Call Slim 180 today at 888-754-6111, 888-754-6111, or visit them online at myslim180.com.
Stewart's American Mortgage. You can call Stewie. You can text him 314-324-4440 and talk about getting that interest rate that you're paying right now lowered. And, you can do a refinance and lower your payment. And if you have 25 years left and you refi a 30-year, of course, your payment's going to go down. But you don't have to do that. You can shorten the length of your loan as well, which is a great way to save just loads of money on interest over the course of the length of your loan. If you have 25 years left, what about going down to a 20 or a 15? When you combine that with a lower interest rate, especially if you have not refied in the previous years, maybe 3 years or more, it could be a drastic difference in what your rate is right now and what it could be when Stewie gets a hold of it. When you use the Bagel Loan, which is only at Stewart's American Mortgage, you don't pay any fees to go through this process. 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440. Call my friend Stewie, and MLS number 226715.
Step up your gift game and dash through the dough with all the hope this season brings. Holiday scratchers from the Missouri Lottery are the best token of good cheer, generosity, and could-be luck. When you give the gift of scratchers, you're given a reason to be cheerful all season long. Every ticket you play creates opportunities for Missouri students. So play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. Play responsibly.
Ho, ho, ho! Ace is the only national retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint. Now Benjamin Moore's premium quality and huge selection of colors will be right in your neighborhood, along with the award-winning service and advice Ace has always provided for your paint projects. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their paint. Visit any of the 15 area Cotton's Ace Hardware locations. Visit them online at cottonsacehardware.com to find the location nearest you. That's cottonsacehardware.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
An Olympic boycott. Lisa Brady, Fox News. The White House just announcing a diplomatic boycott of the upcoming games in Beijing, meaning the U.S. will not send any government officials. To send a message, it can't be business as usual because of human rights abuses.
Senate Foreign Relations Committee Chairman, Democrat Bob Menendez, says a diplomatic boycott of the Winter Olympics in China will send a powerful rebuke of the Communist Party's campaign of genocide. China's foreign ministry has criticized expected boycotts, saying the Olympics are not a stage for political show and manipulation.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House, which also says it will be cheering on U.S. athletes. The president's also preparing to send a message to Russia in a video call with President Putin tomorrow amid concern he might try to invade Ukraine.
Conveying diplomatically that this is the moment for Russia to pull back their military buildup at the border.
White House spokeswoman Jen Psaki says the U.S. is coordinating with transatlantic partners on possible sanctions and other steps. The Kremlin denies planning an invasion. The actor accused of a hate crime hoax in Chicago is now testifying in his own defense. Fox's Jeff Manasso has this live.
Lisa, Jussie Smollett now on the witness stand in Cook County courts before the case is handed to a jury. The black gay actor is accused of hiring two brothers in 2019 to stage a racist and homophobic hate crime. The brothers, key witnesses who provided cops a $3,500 check, they say Smollett paid them to allegedly garner the actor more fame. Though Smollett maintains he was a victim and has pled not guilty to 6 felony counts against him, a case in which the Chicago PD spent thousands of man hours and tens of thousands of dollars investigating. Lisa.
Thanks, Jeff. The Justice Department is suing Texas for the second time this year over voting rights, this time arguing the state's redistricting plans discriminate against minority voters. America is listening to Fox News.
Right now, I'm getting bombarded with TV ads, postcards, and emails about Medicare Advantage programs, saying what I may be eligible for and what might be available. But don't tell me everything there is to know. Tell me what I need to know.
Clear up your Medicare confusion with simple, easy answers at easymedicare.com. That's the letter E, the letter Z, Medicare.com. Go to easymedicare.com or speak with a licensed agent at 1-888-486-1662. EasyMedicare.com.
Speak with a licensed insurance agent or visit easymedicare.com Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. EST, Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. EST. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, has neither reviewed nor approved this information with regard to the federal Medicare program. EasyMedicare.com is powered by eTelequote Insurance Inc., a private duly licensed insurance agency appointed by Medicare Advantage, HMO, PPO, and PFFS plans and standalone prescription drug plans and insurance companies holding Medicare contracts approved by CMS. Enrollment in any plan for coverage is subject to insurance company approval. This information is not a complete description of benefits. Contact the plan for more information. Limitations, co-payments, and restrictions may apply. Benefits, premiums, and/or member cost share may change on January 1 of each year. You must continue paying your Medicare Part B premium.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's a bundle-up afternoon across St. Louis on this Monday. Sunny, windy, and cold. 42 for the high. Tonight, it's quiet, but it's cold. More and more clouds take over. The winds lie down. 22 for the overnight low on Tuesday. Lots of clouds, maybe a spotty sprinkle or a little snow flurry. It'll be tough to find any moisture. 36, though. That's it for the high on Tuesday. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Want to lend a hand to the poor this Christmas season? Stop by any metro area Hardee's and make a donation to benefit Operation Food Search. Any donation over $1 gets you a limited edition DGS bumper sticker. It's as easy as that. So swing by an area Hardee's and make an impact this Christmas season.
It's as easy as that.
More information at 971talk.com/events. With the DGS, Operation Food Search, and 97.1 FM Talk.
Planning for the death, I mean, it is what it is. Your death, your significant other's death is important. It's not fun. It's not a conversation you look forward to. In fact, it's probably one that you've been putting off. Let me encourage you to reach out to some people who are going to make this process more comfortable. Does that sound weird? Yes, but it's important that you lay out what you want to have done, your plans, your expectations, and your desires. And you need to call Beck and Lennox Estate Planning and Elder Law to make that happen. They understand the law. They know the questions to ask you that you're not going to know that you need to have answers for, to help guide you through, to make sure that you've covered all the different scenarios that could possibly happen. If you have dependents on you, you absolutely need to have this process done. And Beck and Lennox Estate Planning and Elder Law for decades have been helping people like you put pieces together to give you the peace of mind that you need to know that you've had it taken care of. Free consultation to you. If you haven't had any of this planning done, if you haven't had it looked at in 3 years or more, 636-946-7899, 636-946-7899, BeckElderLaw.com.
When we at AmericanEagle.com were asked by our client, Repair Clinic, to, repair their website, our digital marketing experts, like Tim, rolled up their sleeves and got to work. If you know Tim, you know that he loves a good challenge, which meant that this project was pretty much the highlight of Tim's year. From improving slow loading performance that plagued our client's site to slashing duplicate pages and building an optimized sitemap, Tim was like a real-life action hero, but of website optimization. And our client reaped the benefits with major strides in their SEO, like more traffic, impressions, and revenue. Tim and the team even helped them create search and email marketing campaigns and better ongoing analytics tracking. However complex your digital challenges, from digital marketing and strategy to web development, UX, and more, talk to the experts at AmericanEagle.com. Don't just grow, soar.
We've done it again.
Golden Oak Lending has dropped rates even lower.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. With a 1.875% rate and home values up, you can get more cash out now.
Call 314-567-GOLD today and make no mortgage payments until next year.
Golden Oak Landing, join my blue.
NMLS 114937, 1.875% fixed, 2.952% APR, FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
Tune in to Ride at Home with Rich every Saturday from noon to 1 p.m. This Mosby Building Arts Home Show covers topics ranging from design and architecture to remodeling and home maintenance. For answers to all of your home questions, don't miss Ride at Home with Rich, brought to you by Mosby Building Arts.
There's a music station customized to your taste. Download the Odyssey app and browse the stations for your perfect fit. Brought to you in part by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar. On the Odyssey app and Odyssey.com. This hour of the Annie Fry Show is sponsored by the Loading Dock, with a unique and beautiful ice skating rink to enjoy this time of year. Go to GraftonLoadingDock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Happy to be with you on a Monday. And if you didn't listen to the first hour, I'm having a Monday. But it's resolving itself. And I'm here and I'm with you and I'm glad. And I had asked when I was talking about my Mondayest Monday of Mondays, I said, what are you supposed to do to break your Monday? Like, how do you break the cycle of that mid-Monday to say, no, this isn't the way it's going to be all day. What do you do? And Larry, I believe it was Larry on our Facebook page, said, what you do when you're having one of those days is you make a list of 10 things you're thankful for and start the list with that you woke up that day. And I thought that is a fantastic idea. So in the 2:00 hour, Brad, Trisha, and Ryan and I, we're going to cut it down to 5 since there's 4 of us. And do we have 40 things we're thankful for? I'm sure we do, but we don't need to take that much time. We're going to talk about things we're thankful for in the 2:00 hour. And I thought maybe that might be a positive exercise for you guys as well. So if you have something you wanted to share with us, or if you have a suggestion, a piece of advice as to how you break the cycle if a day is going super south, I would love to hear what that suggestion is, that advice. And you can do so on the live stream, Annie Fry YouTube channel, or the Annie Fry Show Facebook page. Chris on Facebook right now says, you day drink. that might work for some. I don't know if I can get away with that here, but my glass, which was, do you see this? Have you read this before? Do you see what this says there?
I have read it now.
What does it say?
Might be water, might be whiskey.
This was made for me by a listener, and this says Annie right here. And this, it also might be a blueberry protein shake. Who knows? The blueberry protein shake was part of my Monday morning. I could not get I make the shake. I have the shake at least 5 times a week. I know how to make the shake. It's delicious. I couldn't get my blender to blend. You know how, like, you ever make something do you make shakes?
Yes. I have a Ninja blender.
See, I don't have that. I have like the $20, but I don't know if you.
But I know about like the cavitation at the bottom.
The what?
It's like whenever the blades spin.
No. Go back to the
cavitation.
You guys, I don't know if he's really smart, if he's really convincing at making stuff up.
A little bit of both.
I know words. You use words I don't know. Cavitation. I'm gonna write that down and learn. Yeah, it just spins, and so I'm like, gosh, dang it! And I'm trying to find my keys. I was trying to secure a babysitter, got that done because our other babysitter got sick, and I'm like trying to hurry and make the shake, and it's not working. The stuff's not going down where the blades are spinning, so I do what I should have done. I stuck a wooden spoon in there, and then it chunked off, and I was being super careful, and then it chunked off the wooden part of the wooden spoon, so I ruined my spoon and the shake, and I had to dump it out because I didn't want to eat wood pieces.
That's fair.
Talk about fiber. This is not what I'm going for.
You don't want that kind of fiber.
I don't. Eek. So yeah, so this is my morning, and I'm everything that it's one of those things where you can have a rough day because like real things in your life are going awry, or you can have, where are my keys? And I have to reschedule my day because I have a different babysitter coming. And, you know, I got a babysitter, and she was like super eager to do it. And she's who watches Molly the other day. So it was like, it was easy peasy, but my schedule changed, and then I can't find my keys. And then I had to get a different car. And I'm like, am I going to have everything in my car, in my dad's car that I need? So it's just like all these little nitpicky things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You break your wooden spoon in your shake and you got to throw it out.
Yeah. I have days like that. And like, I can identify those days pretty early on. Like, this is going to be one of those type of days. And the only thing you can do is just kind of like laugh at it.
Yeah. I like I said that earlier. I was like, I'm healthy. I'm not like nothing bad, like nothing irresolvably, is that a word, bad happened.
Right.
But nothing is going right at all. I just said to Brad before we went into this segment, I'm like, I need to look at the sound sheet. What did you spend your entire morning doing that I haven't even paid attention to yet? We had Mark Krikorian on, and I'm like, oh, what do you got? He's like, cut 26. I'm like, that's perfect. Play it. Let's do that. It really weighs on me when you have a day like this, how much you can't do everything yourself. Like, nobody is infallible. I am impossibly independent, and everybody who's connected to me in my life knows that. It is my greatest strength, and it is my greatest weakness. My parents, my apologies, despite that from a young age. I mean, I've said this before, and I don't talk about it a whole lot, but I really spent, I would say, 50% of my high school years grounded. And I was the kid who my other friends would be like, they do like legit bad things. And they're like, you're grounded. Unless you go out with Annie, you can go out with her. So I was always allowed in my friends' lives when they were in trouble because I was a good influence on them. But if I feel as though I am right, have a habit of being persistent in pleading my case, which means I talk back a lot and I was disrespectful. My parents didn't stand for it.
Yeah, I was the same person.
Yeah.
The exact same
Argumentative, independent, mostly that.
I say was like I'm not currently,
well,
but
I mean, you learn. See, my parents didn't let me get away with it. And even though I didn't do any of the things, air quotes, that bad kids did. And I was friends with people who did things that I didn't want to be. I was always an old soul. I've said this before, but I think when I reached the age, I think I was 34. And it really hit me hard that I was finally the age that I have felt for a really long time. Like, my mental age and my real age had arrived. And now I'm starting to feel older then like, raking the leaves, for example. I was walking like Tim Conway for the rest of the night, and it was not a pretty sight. And we had friends over, and they thought it was hilarious. But when you're young and you're mature, and like your personality is mature, and you go about life thinking that you are entitled to more access to what the adults are doing. And I did not really dabble in the things that the air quotes again, kids were doing. It was troublesome for me because, as I said, my parents did not let me get away with it. And it's important for me to not let my kids get away with it. I think my kindergartner is going to have that same propensity that I had. My older two have not shown that they're going to be as challenging as maybe I was. But I don't know if society, to push back and to emphasize the way we speak to one another and respect for authority. I mean, go to a sports game, go to a sporting event, and listen to how the parents yell at the officials. Listen to how the coaches yell at officials. Listen to the things they say, the words they use. How do you sit around and hear that and think, oh yeah, we're going to be just fine? Because when you talk about a sporting event in front of children, if the parents are yelling at the officials or at the kids, you see that too.
Oh yeah. If
the parents are yelling and the coaches are yelling, why would the kids be like, well, it's important that I be respectful of authority here? Because nobody else around them, the grown-ups that are tasked as adults, are supposed to be the ones doing that. And they don't.
No, I saw a lot of that. Like when you said that, it popped into my brain whenever I was coaching 10U football, and like how parents would yell at their kids, expecting them to be the next Derek Thomas, the next Lawrence Taylor. I know I'm throwing some old football references out there, but they wanted their kid to be the next NFLer. And the way they rode their kid, I'm like, how is this even fun for you? And then you watch how that same parent would yell at the refs, or they tell their kids to do something dirty to another player because that other player was like whooping them on the line.
Yeah. I just think about how we treat one another and how we are expected to be treated by one another. Like and I don't think I said this about when we were watching I was watching Annie live last week, which I really adored. I know that's not like the wheelhouse of the people who are probably spending their afternoons with me here. That's fine. Maybe it's your cup of tea. I don't make a point to watch live plays because I know they do that from time to time, but it's Annie, and I've been aware of this play. Like I've said before, I had a Fisher-Price record player and I had 3 albums: Sesame Street Live, Thriller, and Annie the musical. Those were the 3. It got me through my childhood and turned me into a really bratty high schooler. So there you have it. I looked at the way that the actors were dressed. And this, I think it's set in 1932. I think that's the year that Annie was set in. And the clothes, the costumes in this were just beautiful and magnificent. And it reminded me that there was a time where when you got dressed for the day, you got dressed for the people you were going to see and the people who were going to see you. That's not what we do anymore. We get dressed for ourselves. And then you insert like a global pandemic where we wore sweatpants and could spend half the week without a bra on for the entirety of the time because you didn't go anywhere or see anybody. So you did whatever you did. And we have become more interested in how dressing affects ourselves. We're obsessed with ourselves. We are obsessed with, everybody can search for their own victimhood. There's a victimhood in all of us, and it becomes our greatest strength because it becomes the thing that people can feel sorry for or accommodate for or not go near and end up sympathizing for instead of showing our strengths. Like your greatest strength is now your biggest weakness. That's kind of the way we live in this like super self-centered society where all you got to do is go fly in a plane. I mean, it used to be the thing to like, you were dressing up to go fly somewhere. And I mean, I don't dress up to go fly. I might dress up by wearing jeans instead of like leggings or sweatpants or something, which is what most people fly in is like athleisure wear. We don't invest much of anything that we do as a society anymore in anybody else. It's all about presenting myself to the world because of an inward look. And I think that is a huge, huge problem.
Yeah, and there's also an attitude of the world needs to change to accommodate me rather than me accommodating, changing
completely.
Myself,
And if you, Brad, show up to work to accommodate me, and if I show up to work to accommodate you, we're both better for it.
Mm-hmm.
If we show up and think, how can I help? Like if my mentality on this show with my coworkers is what can I do on this show to help Ryan, to help Brad, to help Trisha, and their mentality is what can I do to help everybody else? This show is so much better. If it's me coming in going, this is what I need from Brad, and this is what I need from you guys. They're probably all nodding like quietly in their office. If Ryan's like, "Oh my gosh, tell me about it." If the emphasis is how do we all work towards putting something together that we are all proud of, we will be better. And I don't think, I think we do a good job of that on this show. I think that in life, though, that's not the emphasis. And if it's like, if I'm not looking out for me, no one's looking out for me, so I got me. And when you prioritize yourself, the next person that comes in contact with you is going to go, well, they just care about themselves. I guess I got to care about me. It's contagious. I think that the converse is contagious too.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I look for an opportunity to bless somebody in some way, they might not return that immediately to me, but they will know what that feels like and want to send that blessing down the road to the next person. And that, in my opinion, always comes back.
And make sure, too, that you're available to be blessed, right? Open to being blessed. Allow somebody to bless you, right? I've met people where you just try to do something nice for me, like, oh, I don't need you to do that for me. It's like, I know, I just want to do something nice. That's not a virtue. If somebody does something nice for you, say thank you. And then, like you said, move it on down the line.
You know why people aren't willing to be blessed? Because in our society now, in the self-centered society that we live in, now you owe them something. For me to bless you, if you say, oh gosh, if she does this, no, how am I going to pay her back for that? Even if there's no indication that that's required, then our society says, well, you better not necessarily pay back, maybe even one up, because that reflects on you. What I'm saying is if I bless Brad, go bless Ryan.
Right.
Ryan, go bless Trisha. Trisha, go bless Dave Klein. And pay it on, and then look at how many people, instead of always, the scoreboard, who's doing what for whom. It's a big deal. The other thing that fits into this is the idea of, if I say to Ryan, because he brought me these macarons back from France and Epcot, which is my favorite thing, these macarons and Epcot. If I say, Ryan, thank you so much. If he says, oh no, it's nothing, don't worry about it. You're supposed to say you're welcome. And your welcome doesn't mean, yeah, you better say thank you. Your welcome means you are welcome to my good deed. You are welcome to this. Like, I did this for you, and you are welcome here for this thing, this blessing. You're welcome. We don't say you're welcome. Thank you. Oh no, thank you. Thank you. Oh, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Thank you. Oh, no. Like, you're welcome. That's actually a very kind thing to say. You're welcome means I'd like to do it again.
Yeah.
And we don't do that because it's all about ourselves. Maybe it shouldn't be. Let's take a quick break. Stephen Moore is going to join us when we come back. Senior economic contributor at FreedomWorks. We're going to talk about the Build Back Better spending bill. What's in it? Is it going to pass? And how's Stephen Moore going to have a happy holiday if it does? Stick around. We'll talk to him in just a minute.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Fry Show. It's not about left versus right. It's about wrong versus right. Where St. Louis comes to talk. Right here, right now. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
So, speaking of blessing people, I was at church yesterday, and one of the kindest women there at church, her name's Carol, said to me, she goes, "What are you doing, Annie? You're just glowing," which made me uncomfortable because compliments make me uncomfortable. Someone else just said that on the Facebook page. And the truth is that I didn't say this to her yesterday because I didn't want to do a commercial in church for it, but I'm with Dr. Kristen Jacobs at Ooh La La Spa, and she is taking care of my skin and helping me work. I'm in my late 30s, and I've never worked really hard to take care of my skin. I've always been too busy, or I've thought I'll deal with it later. It's time. It was time for me. It's time for you as well. Men and women alike have been going to see Dr. Kristen Jacobs to reverse the signs of aging, to go through the aging process in a healthy way that makes your face as bright and youthful looking as it possibly can be in a whole wide range of ways. Dr. Kristen Jacobs is at Ooh La La Spa in Glen Carbon, Illinois, waiting for you to call. Mention the Annie Fry Show when you do. I am on their product line, and I can see with my own eyes that it's making a difference. And we have taken before, and I'm going to be taking after pictures later this week as I continue to go through this process. And I'm going to show them through you, which is going to be probably really embarrassing for me. But I want you to see how much work has been done in a really short amount of time with Dr. Kristen Jacobs and Ooh La La Spa. You can go online and you can find them at KristenJacobs.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon, heading up 97.1 FM Talk's Tree of Hope team for the kids at Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, where no child is ever turned away. Your gifts to the Tree of Hope go to fund special programs like music therapy. Board-certified music therapists bring the healing power of music to patients dealing with complex medical issues. Support provides instruments and other things necessary for the program, which is one of many not covered by insurance, but very necessary to a child's recovery. Please join our Tree of Hope 97.1 FM Talk team and give at treeofhope.org/97.1 FM Talk. It's Mark Reardon for my friends at ThrottleNet, and let's talk about managed network versus cybersecurity. That's ThrottleNet's answer to the never-ending challenges that business owners face waging war against outside attacks, intrusion, and data breaches. If your IT support is not talking about cybersecurity and providing layers of defense, it's time to change. ThrottleNet clients have never paid ransom, and they're prepared for full recovery after being hit with a ransomware attack. And I've got a great offer for you. ThrottleNet is so confident of their superior customer service, they'll give you the first 30 days of service for free. If you decide to leave ThrottleNet in those first 30 days, they'll pay you $1,000 for your trouble. On top of that, they never lock you in to a long-term contract. And how about this for some proof from the business community? ThrottleNet has been awarded Small Business Monthly Best IT Company for 6 years in a row and voted number 1 all 6 years. Get started today. Go to throttlenet.com/971. That's throttlenet.com/971.
Keep your home warm with help from Menards. Dynaglow heaters are the ideal choice for safe indoor supplemental heating. With a wide range of electric, natural gas, and propane heaters, we'll have the right one for you. Keep you and your family comfortable this winter. They're great for your garage, cabin, or home, and will keep you warm on the coldest nights. Right now, save big on Dynaglow heaters. Plus, a Menards gift card is always a great gift idea.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Just because you were born with bad vision, or even if your vision's become worse over time, it doesn't mean you have to live with it. Mark Cox here from my friends at Brenton Vision. Go online to BrentonVision.com to find out more about what they do. They're one of the only places in the U.S., the only place in Missouri, in fact, that offers all 7 forms of modern vision correction. Whether you're tired of dealing with contact lenses, reading glasses all over the place, even bifocals, Brenton Vision has helped people just like you from all over the world enjoy life with crisp, clear vision. Like my wife, who went through the ocular exam, who went through the RLE procedure, and she can't believe the difference. It has changed her life. Ask her. If you know her, she'll tell you the same thing. Brenton Vision can schedule you right online. You deserve to see life more clearly. Book your appointment right now, 314-375-2020, or online at BrentonVision.com.
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
It's been a whole lot easier since you left town. It's been a whole lot happier without a face around. Nobody upstairs, don't stop and shout. Nobody at the back door, but throw my louder out. She holds the shotgun while you don't sit down. She won one man, made a Hercules and sickened up. I've been a whole lot easier since she's gone. Little miss, Captain Dog.
Welcome back to the Andy Fry Show. This is like the song from my high school years. Sorry, Mom and Dad, once again. There's probably not enough sorries in the world. Were your parents super disciplinarians? How'd they handle you?
I would say no, but I was like, I don't know how to explain it. I didn't do anything when I was in high school. Like, I didn't have to be grounded because there was nothing to ground me from. So
how about things that plug in the wall? Because I would get grounded from those things.
I didn't
You
have
want to watch TV? Just unplug it from the wall. My parents didn't yell like that, but yeah.
no, but I did have a friend whose dad cut the cords off the TV and
Oh
threw
my
them in his
gosh.
lunchbox. And then when he would get home from work, he would wire them back together and plug it in because he didn't want the kids not doing their homework.
One time we all got grounded, my sister, my brother, and I, we were home by ourselves. My parents had to go somewhere and we were told we weren't allowed to watch TV. And my dad's like, and I've made it so that if you watch TV, I'll know that you did it. And we're like, how was he possibly going to know that? So we went into, sorry, again, Dad, my apologies. I'm real sorry about this. My brother probably remembers this. We went into the family room. You know, like the old entertainment centers that are no more that would have like doors. They look like big, like wardrobes or something like that. Like the idea was we should hide our TV so people don't know that it's here. Okay.
Ours is like that.
Still?
Yes.
Well, this was one. It was, I guess, a nice piece of furniture. It could fit your 32-inch television in or whatever it was. And we were like, my brother and I were like scoping this thing out. Like, how's he going to know? And at least I assume he slipped a penny on the top of the door that you had to open and push back. And I assume he thought that if the penny was moved. So we like looked at the penny as close, like the head is facing this way. And then we watched TV, and like the whole time we're watching TV, I'm like, we're gonna get so busted. We're gonna be in so much trouble. Oh my gosh, why did we do this? It wasn't worth it. And then like when we thought they were coming home, we put it back and we set the penny. I don't think we got in trouble for that.
So like what led my friend's dad to cutting those cords was he same deal. Told his kids not to watch TV. He just came home, and what he would do is he would put his hand on top of the TV and feel
see if
if
it was warm. That's probably what my dad was doing. He's like, I'll put this penny on here and make him freak out about it, and still no. Dang it. Anyway, I'm going to play this clip here before we get to our guest. Stephen Moore is going to be with us here in just a second. But I want to get his reaction to Eric Boehlert talking about the historic recovery of the economy.
And the press for the last 2 months has essentially presented inflation as being all of the U.S. economy. And it's just not true. You know, the jobs report on Friday, a lot of the coverage was that, oh, this is a bad jobs report. This is a bad jobs report. The unemployment is down to 4.2%. Before Biden passed the COVID relief bill in February, CBO said it will take 4 years for this country to get down to 4.2 unemployment. We are 4 years ahead of schedule. This is an historic recovery.
So before I get Stephen Moore in here, I had to be like, who's Eric Boehlert? I didn't even know who he was. But he's a former staffer at Media Matters, Salon, Rolling Stone, and Billboard. If that gives you a little bit of color to where he's coming from. An historic recovery, Stephen Moore, says Eric Boehlert. I thought I'd give you an opportunity to rebut those claims.
Yeah, he's a very famous economist. Of course, I've never heard of him, but I'm very famous.
Well, that's why we have you here, to have real famous economists on the show.
Look, I mean, the job market is good right now. I think it is a good, if you're looking for a job and you've got a skill, you know, there are a lot of jobs out there, no question about it. And this really, in my opinion, I love it. He says, oh, under Trump, blah, blah, blah. Well, look, under Trump, we got the Operation Warp Speed. We had, speaking of things that weren't supposed to happen for 4 years, the left said, oh, we're not going to have, remember when Trump said we can have a vaccine in 10 months? And the left the media laughed at, oh my God, it's going to be till 2023 or 24 before we have a vaccine. That's impossible, blah, blah, blah. Now, of course, we have a vaccine. It's what's really stimulated the economy, gotten our business back open, people back on the job. And, Biden wants to take credit for that. Look, my point is, though, that if you've got a job, if you're a electrician or you're a nurse or you're an accountant or a bookkeeper or you construction worker, manufacturer, you know how to do things. There are jobs out there. So that's the good news. The bad news is, guys, that people's paychecks are shrinking because the average wage increase is for the last year has been about 4.5%, but inflation is 6.2%. Now, here's the question: what's the bigger number, 6.2% or 4.5%?
Which is a bigger number? Yeah, I don't think it's in the middle class's favor. It doesn't feel like it, at least.
Yeah, it's killing the middle class because they're now. I love CNN, by the way. Last week, you want a real laugher? CNN. You can look this up, Annie. You can look it up. You can Google it right now. CNN said inflation is good for you.
No. It sure feels like it. Please, sir, may I have another?
May I have more inflation? Can I pay more at the gas pump? I'm paying $3.39. I can't wait till it's $3.69 or $4 or $5 a gallon. So that's the problem. And the other problem is, by the way, I'm watching the TV screen right now, and our president is on saying how we should pass this $4 trillion spending bill. And that is the big problem. Can you imagine passing another $4 trillion spending bill? I mean, it will bankrupt our country. I mean, we're talking about, you had the 1.9 trillion we passed earlier this year, plus the 1.1. That's 1.9 plus 1. That's 3 trillion plus another 4 trillion. It's like $6-7 trillion more money on top of the normal budget. These people are nuts. And he's saying I just saw the president say, this is going to reduce inflation. How are you going to reduce inflation by printing more money?
Well, it seems like that would be counterintuitive since inflation is so good for us. You'd think that they would want to increase it. I'm so confused.
Exactly. We want That's a great point, Annie.
Thanks. We're talking with Stephen Moore, senior economic contributor at FreedomWorks, author of the book Trumponomics. We're going to probably need to revisit that one shortly. Stephen, I'm reading an article here from Fox Business. U.S. debt limit could be reached by December 21st. Analysis shows. For the simple-minded,
say that again. I didn't hear that.
U.S. debt limit could be reached by December 21st.
Debt limit. Yes. Debt limit. Right.
So for the most simple-minded of us, which is me, explain to me what the debt limit being reached means. Is it bad when they tell us that it's good for us, like inflation down the road? How would it not be?
So first of all, you are the last person I would call simple-minded. I mean, and by the way, the simple-minded people are the people in Washington, right?
Oh, that's
who
terrifying.
think that they're so smart, and they're the ones who racked up this, $22 trillion debt, and now they're lecturing us about, what we spend and so on. But here's the point: Biden, I just mentioned, he wants to borrow $6 trillion this year. $6 trillion. That's not 6 million, folks. Not 6 billion. $6 trillion. I know your eyes are glazing over because the numbers are so gigantic, but now Chuck Schumer, who runs the Senate, and Nancy Pelosi, who runs the House, want Republicans to vote to raise the debt ceiling. Now, what is the debt ceiling? It's like the credit card limit. Do you have a credit card, Annie?
I do.
Well, you have a limit.
I do
on
have a
your
limit
credit
too.
card, right?
Yes, I do.
Yes, me too. We all have limits. So it's like, let's say you went out on a big spending spree and spent, caviar and lobster and champagne and bought, a Picasso, and you had all these expenses. You try to ring them up. You're going to hit your credit card limit, right?
Yes.
And what Congress is doing is saying, okay, that's okay. You know what we have to do? We have not control our spending. We have to raise the credit card limit.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
It only.
Let's just give them another $2 trillion on the credit card. Oh yeah, that'll solve the problem. That's like giving an alcoholic another drink.
And the frustrating thing is that it's not their credit limit; it's ours. It's our money that they're spending.
I loved, I was watching Biden's speech. Oh, we're going to give you this and we're going to give you that. And this is going to be free. Your rent is going to be free. Your child care is going to be free. Everything is going to be a wonderful country. Of course, we're going to be bankrupt. Everything's going to be free. And for those who actually do pay the bills, everything is going to be 10 times more expensive. But don't worry about that because inflation is a good thing. I mean, everything is upside down right now.
Well, before I let you go, just real quick, I know FreedomWorks has great information. I'm looking at freedomworks.org right now, and you work with them very closely.
Yeah, I love those guys.
What is the listener right now who's sick and tired of this, as sick and tired as you and I are about this? What do they do? Who do they call? What do they contact them about?
Well, look, I mean, there's a huge vote coming up, and I think it'll probably bleed over until 2022 now, because I don't think the Democrats can get this thing passed this year, thank God. And we have to stop this bill. I'm with Larry Kudlow. We got to save America, kill this bill. If it passes, you and I are going to spend the rest of our career trying to undo the damage that this bill will do. And if you don't get the Committee to Unleash Prosperity hotline every morning, what's wrong with you? So, and by the way, unlike Joe Biden's $4 trillion spending plan, this really is free, folks. All you have to do is sign up for it, and it is free. So just go to Committee to Unleash Prosperity hotline and say, I want a website, and click on that button, and we will send it to you 5 mornings a week for free. It costs nothing.
That's fantastic. It costs nothing. That's
how can somebody turn down a deal like that?
Stephen, the government keeps telling us that these things cost nothing. I hope that we can take you at your word a little bit more than President Biden saying it's going to be free. It costs $0.
It is free.
All right.
Well, but the other point is, I know you have a lot of listeners in the great state of Illinois. Do you not?
Yes. I myself am a resident there.
Yeah. So can you talk to your Dick Durbin? Can you get him on the line and tell him to vote against this bill?
Man, I would love to. I will clear my schedule.
Did he come on your show?
No, he won't. He won't come. Dick Durbin, Tammy Duckworth, Governor
they will
Pritzker.
Not come on. Those people, they have no spine, right? Come on. Let's see. You know why? Because liberals don't want to have to defend their positions. They don't want someone like you who will ask them tough questions. So they'll go on MSNBC, which is a love fest. But come on, if they had any, I'm not going to say the word, but if they had backbone, gonads, they would come on your show. I'm going to talk to Dick Durbin and get him on your show, because this is outrageous. Two senators from Illinois are going to vote for this bill, and all we have to do is peel off one. We've got to find one Democrat. There has to be one. Wouldn't you think there'd be one sane Democrat out of 50?
You would hope. You would hope.
Yeah, I would hope.
Stephen, thank you so much. Great to have you back. And if you get that connected, we will clear our schedule for Senators Durbin and Duckworth anytime.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that conversation between Annie Fye and Dick Durbin.
Fantastic. We'll talk to you soon, Stephen. Thank you.
See you guys.
Bye-bye. freedomworks.org, a great website for you to see different ways that you could take action against the ridiculousness that is taking place in Washington, D.C. I'm pretty encouraged to hear him say that he doesn't think this bill is going to get passed in 2021. The more we can push it off down the road, the better. So I'm very happy about that. Let's take a quick break. More Annie Frey Show right around the corner. Personal invitation from me to you to join us on the live stream. Brian Wiggins and Trisha are going to join us in the 2 p.m. hour on there. So if you want to see their beautiful faces, you need to be there. And we're going to be hanging out for the rest of the show, kind of talking about what's going on and getting in and out of various topics. The next one is Jake Tapper. You will not believe what Jake Tapper was saying on his show about China. We'll play that for you when we come back. Don't go away.
Ain't nobody gonna bow no more when you shout and go.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. The Mark Reardon Show.
Tim Fitch is with me. Sam Page is a one-trick pony, and that's all he can do is talk about COVID. I'm finished talking with him and fighting with him. This is all by design on his part, and he's going to ride this pony as long as he can.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
If you're in the Metro East and you're looking for a dentist, Fountains Family Dentistry is the place to go. They're just off of Highway 64 and 159 near Shogun at the entrance to the Fountains subdivision right there as you enter Fairview Heights or Collinsville, depending on which way you're going. So I mention that because it's the end of the year. A lot of people are trying to use up their benefits, or they're trying to schedule their dental appointments for the beginning of next year because you'll either have benefits or your benefits will be renewed. So now's the time to visit fountains.familydentistry.com. You've probably heard me talk about their great service and their great personnel, but they're also very convenient. They're open late on some days and early on some days because they know that everybody's schedule isn't the same. And so they are there for you. FountainsFamilyDentistry.com. Dr. Ty Parker will take care of you. Steve will talk you through the insurance part or the lack of insurance, depending on if you're a new customer or what you want to get done. Give them a call and schedule your appointment now. Visit FountainsFamilyDentistry.com. That's where you can get their phone number and make it very, very easy. I think you can even make appointments right there online. FountainsFamilyDentistry.com.
Looking for the perfect holiday gift? Shane Company has the largest selection of fine jewelry available now and ready to go. While retail jewelers are running low or completely out of stock, you can rely on your friend in the jewelry business. My grandfather started sourcing diamonds overseas in 1929. Because we pay cash at the source and work with partners we've had for generations, we have more unique fine jewelry on hand to choose from than anywhere else, whatever your budget. Our gemstones are natural, selected for their beauty, and our jewelry is crafted to our superior standards, which is why we're able to offer a free lifetime warranty. Visit our store or check out our online gift guide. Shipping is fast and free. Knock it out of the park with a gift that'll light up the holidays. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
If your business has accounting problems, you probably have tax problems. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm in St. Louis. Running a small business is tough, and it's no surprise that companies that don't keep good books often run into tax issues. If you don't fix your accounting problems, you could be doomed to land in the same tax pitfalls every year. Call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I can help you get out of tax trouble and stay out. If your small business doesn't have a CPA or accountant, I can help you find one. And if you already have one, I work closely with them to resolve your tax problems quickly. Make no mistake, if the numbers don't add up, the IRS will catch it. Fix your accounting and tax problems before they snowball with help from the Lance Drury Law Firm. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-238-7360, or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Ace is the only national retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint. Now Benjamin Moore's premium quality and huge selection of colors will be right in your neighborhood, along with the award-winning service and advice Ace has always provided for your paint projects. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their paint. Visit any of the 15 area Cotton's Ace Hardware locations. Visit them online at cottonsacehardware.com to find the location nearest you. That's cottonsacehardware.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Wonderlight's Christmas in St. Louis is back at Worldwide Technology Raceway, celebrating from now until January 9th. Tickets available at the gate and online at wonderlightschristmas.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Information to keep you moving. Dependable traffic mornings and afternoons with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
And children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show, including to myself. I was having a conversation with Trisha, and I came back and I asked Dave, who's sitting out there, who answers the phones and calls guest stars. I said, "How long can I stay out here before Brad panics?" And you didn't come out. Like you just, I guess, trusted I was going to come back. That's nice.
Yeah, I absolutely did.
And then the music started.
As soon as the music started, I popped my head out there. As soon as I looked through the glass and I could see Dave's face, I was like, something's up. Then I opened the door and you're standing
I was
right
standing right by the door. Because I heard the promo that usually happens right before we come back. And I thought, I'll have time. And I'm just going to stay out here and see what Brad does. Just one of those days. It's a Monday. Anyway, in the 2:00 hour, Trisha and Ryan are going to come back in here and join us. And we're going to talk through some different things that have been going on. There's several conversations that I want to have. One of them being, did you see that? What was it? The Washington, D.C. Reclaim America protest?
Oh, yeah, that march.
Yeah, the one we all knew was going to happen because oh my gosh, it's just, we're gonna talk about that. If you haven't seen this yet, it's like everything that the media can try to do, and who knows who else is involved in this to try to paint all I'm gonna just say non-Biden voters as, I don't know, psychos. I don't know. The imagery is a little interesting. I wanted to play for you this report that Jake Tapper did on China. Listen to this.
This past week, the Women's Tennis Association did something that few other athletic organizations or corporations in general have been willing to do: criticize the Chinese government and take serious steps to protest its brutality. Now, this began weeks ago when Chinese tennis champion Peng Shuai accused a former top Chinese government official of sexual assault. Quote, "Even if it is like an egg hitting a rock, or if I am like a moth drawn to the flame, inviting self-destruction, I will tell the truth about you," unquote, she wrote on Chinese social media. And that post vanished within 30 minutes. And then, so did she.
So this tennis star story, I think that a lot of people kind of gloss over when we start talking about China, because the stories all seem to be the same. There's this consistency to them, and it's bad. And, pick up the thing that's closest to you and see where it's made in. Chances are it's made in China. Listen to more here from Jake Tapper.
Now, not only is the International Olympic Committee, which will hold the 2022 Winter Games in China, not only is the IOC not raising its voice in solidarity and protest, the IOC is helping the Chinese government by providing them cover. On November 21st, and then again last Wednesday, the IOC told the world that they had held video calls with Peng Shuai. For neither call did the IOC release the video or even a transcript. The IOC has not mentioned her allegations of sexual assault, nor would the IOC explain who set up these calls. The IOC is behaving like a mob lawyer.
Like a mob lawyer? That if you think about how the Olympics has... seems like there's this kind of understanding, this known thing when China is in the Olympics. Like if China is doing something, we just look the other way. Like they do things differently than we do. Except for there's genocide involved in what China does, except for the fact that they have people in internment camps making the goods that sometimes we don't even realize we're consuming at incredibly lower prices than what could be made in America because they're being made with slave labor. Yeah, it is problematic. Here's more from Jake
The
Tapper.
allegations against the Chinese government go far beyond its treatment of Shuai. This year, both the Trump and Biden administrations have asserted that China is committing, quote, genocide and crimes against humanity against more than 1 million Uyghurs, ethnic Kazakhs, Hui, other Muslims, some Christians, in internment camps or converted detention facilities, according to the U.S. State Department. Chinese authorities are forcing some women in these camps to take unknown drugs and injections. They're forcibly implanting IUDs, coercing them to get abortions, according to former detainees. Beijing, of course, denies these charges.
So, how often have we seen China be accused of something? And you go to China for comment, and they just say, we didn't do that. And then that's like the end of the story until you say, but what about this? Oh, we didn't do that. The only thing that can really push back on this is economic sanctions, if not something more. And who will be the first ones to stand up and push back against it? It's really tragic to think about what the world is turning its head away from today.
We know that for a time, Apple and Nike, a lot of big companies are pushing against it. They're not going to admit it. Who's going to go out lobbying in favor of slave labor? But this is their bottom line.
Of course, Apple and Nike publicly claim to decry slave labor. But to be clear, the behavior we are seeing from U.S. corporations is not about a company surviving. It's about discontent with just hundreds of millions of dollars, desiring instead billions of dollars.
So we see Nike, Apple, the NBA, of course, Hollywood. There's a consistency in people who are okay with this.
And those riches, they create blinders so that you get comments like this one about the Chinese government this past week from billionaire hedge fund manager Ray Dalio.
As a top-down country, what they're doing is that it's that kind of like a strict parent. They behave like a strict parent, and they go through that. That is their approach. We have our approach.
A strict parent. Just like, Casey Anthony.
I mean, when you're listening, this is CNN. This is Jake Tapper saying some real important things about the status quo of the world right now and what people are openly okay with.
Even companies that here in the U.S. pride themselves on progressive values will whitewash for gold. For a Chinese release, Marvel Studios' Doctor Strange turned a major Tibetan character into a Celtic one, reportedly for fear of offending China. Here's Tom Cruise's iconic bomber jacket in Top Gun from 1986, which includes a flag of Taiwan patch. And here's Paramount's replacement patch, decidedly not Taiwan, for next year's sequel.
So we've seen Marvel and Paramount bow to the whims of the Chinese. What about Disney?
Here's Disney in the credits for Mulan, thanking the publicity department of the Chinese Communist Party in Xinjiang, where the cultural genocide is happening. Disney, of course, bought the rights to The Simpsons for its streaming service. And this last week, we learned that this 2005 episode, which shows The Simpsons in Beijing's Tiananmen Square, the site of a brutal crackdown on pro-democracy protesters, a sign reads in The Simpsons episode, "On this site in 1989, nothing happened." And that episode, that's not available for Disney Plus subscribers in Hong Kong.
So the final wrap up here from Jake Tapper, the way he ends this, so important.
That Simpsons episode in Hong Kong disappeared like Peng Shui, disappeared like citizen journalist Zhang Jian, whom the Chinese government has locked up for telling the truth about COVID-19, disappeared like the consciences of the millionaires and billionaires in Hollywood and the NBA and the IOC and Wall Street, who are all so eager for Chinese cash. They are pretending none of this is happening. There is no amount of money that can buy enough soap to wash that blood off their hands.
So, it's been quite a week, right, for CNN and what we've seen with Chris Cuomo. And I just have to say that as much as we will bash on CNN from time to time, what Jake Tapper is saying right here, nothing is going to change in the way the world looks at what is taking place specifically in China until people like Jake Tapper and CNN get in on this, get in on the pressure and shine that spotlight on it. We've seen different people doing it, but the big voices, the mainstream media, it's the only way that things are going to change is if we get a collective to push against this monster that is China. Let's talk about that, Chris Cuomo, and things we're thankful for with Trisha and Brad and Ryan in the next segment. Don't go away.
Guys, 2021's been a roller coaster year, so spoil her this Christmas by giving her the next best thing to wearing nothing at all with soft, silky, naturally nude pajamas exclusively from Pajamagram, America's PJ experts. Sensuous and smooth, naturally nude pajamas feel just like her own bare skin. Even more alluring than lingerie, the texture and touch of these pajamas is so seductive that you'll both love the feel of them. She'll love the feeling of wearing next to nothing at all, and you'll love the way they look. Check them out at Pajamagram.com. Best of all, Pajamagram does the wrapping for you with free gift packaging. Order today, and Pajamagram will also include a free matching naturally nude nightie with the purchase of naturally nude pajamas. That's free gift packaging and a free naturally nude nightie when you order today. Just go to Pajamagram.com. It's fast, easy, and delivery by Christmas is guaranteed. That's Pajamagram.com.
Michael's Flooring Outlet, the homegrown for a quarter century family business right here in St. Louis. He's one of us. He's not somebody who came in from out of town and built this thing up. It's his. It's a St. Louis thing. Michael's Flooring Outlet is the go-to when you need quality and value and the best in customer service. For the flooring needs in your home, your residence, or if you're looking for a commercial flooring replacement, Michael's Flooring Outlet has amazing opportunities for you. Plus, if you go online to their website, igotfloored.com, that's igotfloored.com, you are going to be able to see inventory that they have in stock, which right now is a really, really big deal. So if you're interested in that, interested in getting a free estimate, interested in learning about the vinyl that they have, the tile that they have, the hardwood, the luxury vinyl plank flooring, the Mohawk Smart Strand carpet, whatever you're looking for, they have it, and you need to check it out online. Visit them at igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com.
Mark Cox here. Guys, let Victory Men's Health help you regain your vitality by optimizing your hormones, vitamins, and sexual health. Victory Men's Health has the most cutting-edge technologies to treat ED. They have wave therapy. Listen, this is the biggest advancement for men with ED since the launch of Viagra. That's pretty incredible. They do the treatments in their office. Victory Men's Health offers wave therapy in both their Illinois and Missouri location. Check them out online today at victorymenshealth.com.
Here's an unexpected holiday surprise. A last-minute sale on all earrings at Diamonds Direct. This weekend, 25% off. That's right, all earrings. An incredible 25% off. Diamond studs, diamond hoop, colored gemstone earrings, designer earrings. All earrings included. Who wouldn't love a nice pair of diamond stud earrings for Christmas? Make it happen this weekend and save an unprecedented 25%. Best prices of 2021. Special financing available too. Friday through Sunday only. And only at Diamonds Direct. Olive in 270 at City Place.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
The Justice Department is suing Texas again. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. It's the second lawsuit this year over voting rights, this time focusing on voting maps. Fox's Gernal Scott has this live.
Lisa, Attorney General Merrick Garland accuses Texas of violating voting rights laws, saying its redistricting plans
deny or abridge the rights of Latino and Black voters to vote on account of their race.
Deputy Attorney General Vanita Gupta pointed to Texas population growth in the last census. She said 95% of that growth is due to a minority influx, but with 2 new House seats that come with it, she said,
Texas has designed both of those new seats to have white voting majorities.
The first lawsuit claims Texas restricts help for people with disability or literacy issues in the voting booth. Lisa.
Thanks, Gernal. The U.S. staging a diplomatic boycott of the upcoming Winter Olympics in China. Fox's Jared Halpern is live at the White House.
The Biden administration will not send a diplomatic or government delegation to Beijing in February for the 2022 Winter Olympics.
Given the PRC's ongoing genocide and crimes against humanity in Xinjiang.
Press Secretary Jen Psaki says the U.S. cannot treat the games as business as usual, but will not take the additional step of preventing U.S. athletes from competing.
The athletes will be participating. We will be rooting for the athletes from home.
China's foreign ministry has warned against boycotting the games and says China will take firm countermeasures. Lisa.
Jared, President Biden says his Build Back Better bill will help lower prescription drug prices in part through greater oversight.
Going forward, drug companies that increase their prices faster than inflation are going to face a steep excise tax.
Now, the overall bill is still being fine-tuned and still facing pushback from 2 moderate Senate Democrats on a number of provisions. America is listening to Fox News.
Honey, I'm officially sick of junk mail, emails, and ads about Medicare. Why are they suddenly bombarding us with this stuff?
Because it's open enrollment. We could get more benefits. Clear up your Medicare confusion with simple, easy answers at EasyMedicare.com. That's the letter E, the letter Z, Medicare.com. Annual enrollment is now through December 7th. Go to EasyMedicare.com or speak with a licensed agent at 1-888-486-1662. EasyMedicare.com. We make choosing a Medicare plan easy.
Speak with a licensed insurance agent or visit EasyMedicare.com Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. EST, Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. EST. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, has neither reviewed nor approved this information with regard to the federal Medicare program. EasyMedicare.com is powered by eTelequote Insurance Inc., a private duly licensed insurance agency appointed by Medicare Advantage, HMO, PPO, and PFFS plans and standalone prescription drug plans and insurance companies holding Medicare contracts approved by CMS. Enrollment in any plan for coverage is subject to insurance company approval. This information is not a complete description of benefits. Contact the plan for more information. Limitations, co-payments, and restrictions may apply. Benefits, premiums, and/or member cost share may change on January 1 of each year. You must continue paying your Medicare Part B premium.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's a bundle-up afternoon across St. Louis on this Monday. Sunny, windy, and cold. 42 for the high. Tonight, it's quiet, but it's cold. More and more clouds take over. The winds lie down. 22 for the overnight low on Tuesday. Lots of clouds, maybe a spotty sprinkle or a little snow flurry. It'll be tough to find any moisture. 36, though. That's it for the high on Tuesday. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
This is the place for ideas.
He knows the inflation's high. He knows gas prices are high. And he thinks he's got the perfect solution. Spend more.
It's been the place for engagement for over 20 years in the St. Louis market.
Everyone turns a cheek to China. We turn a cheek to the Uyghurs and genocide and human rights atrocities over there because we don't want, our KitchenAid mixers that cost $1,000. We don't want to pay exorbitantly for the iPhones.
97.1 FM Talk.
And they'll wait till after the Olympics and they'll do something with Taiwan.
Right here, right now.
Imagine for a moment an intense storm is pounding your house. Will your roof leak? Will the siding peel away? What about your basement? Will it flood? If your house is properly built and maintained, you should be fine. What about your 401k and your retirement investments? Are you confident your retirement portfolio is built to weather a financial storm? Now may be a great time to get a second opinion on your retirement strategy. Call the team at Heisey Advisory Group at 314-328-6000. They'll stress test your portfolio and show if your investments are in need of weatherproofing. Call 314-328-6000 today and get your no obligation second opinion. Don't let your retirement get caught in a financial storm. Call 314-328-6000. That's 314-328-6000. Investing involves risk. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Air Comfort Service, online at aircomfortservice.com. Your furnace. I hope it's working great. I hope you don't need Air Comfort Services at all. But if you do need their services, or if you have not had that furnace looked at in a while, folks, did you know there's an air filter you need to be changing? Let's be real about this. You haven't been changing your air filter, and it's probably causing your furnace not to run great. You need somebody who's an expert to come in and see what kind of damage you've done because you haven't done the maintenance yourself. That's my personal story. That might be your story too. I don't know. But you need the experts. You need people who you can trust to come in and get everything running in ship shape, and to make sure that if there is something that needs to be attended to, that they're not going to take advantage of you, that they're going to give you options. They're going to understand your budget process, and they have great financing options. All of these things are at Air Comfort Service. They will get you in your comfort zone. They will work with you and give you a little bit of a sigh of relief. While it's freaking cold outside right now, you need to make sure that you're in your comfort zone in your home. 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. Find them online at aircomfortservice.com.
Spectrum Business is proud to support small businesses with the best internet and phone services at the best value. But we want to do more. So now, for a limited time, get 1 month of services for free. That's right, 1 month on us. Get 200 megabit per second internet and business phone, and even TV, all free for 1 month, plus free installation. Call 855-757-4544 or visit spectrum.com/business today. Restrictions apply.
Worried about what you're breathing in? With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com.
This is where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk. Join the conversation digitally. Download the Odyssey app and tune into the #1 talk station in St. Louis at any time. This hour of the Annie Fry Show is sponsored by the Loading Dock, with a unique and beautiful ice skating rink to enjoy this time of year. Go to GraftonLoadingDock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We're going to talk about a lot of things in this 2:00 hour, but this just intersected right into the last 10 seconds, and I'm kind of changing the course of things here. Did you guys, if you follow me on Twitter at Annie Fry Show, you might have seen I retweeted this this picture. And Ryan, look at this picture, and can you see it from there? Can you explain what's happening in this photo for the people who don't have Twitter or can't look at it right now?
A masked mom and her masked maybe 6-year-old. She's holding him. He is crying. She is smiling, and he is getting a jab, and it is a gross looking jab.
I mean, the needle is in the skin, and the skin is pulling away. Had you seen this before, Trisha?
I had not. No. Hi, by the way.
Hi, Trisha. Hi, Brad. Trisha, how does this make you feel?
Uncomfortable.
Right?
It's the skin part that makes me most uncomfortable.
It's the painful part of the shot.
Yeah, and she's like, "Hey, look at this. This is fun."
Is there a way for this woman who's clearly her point is that get your kids vaxxed? That's her point, right?
Yeah.
Is there a way to make this point without having your 6-year-old son crying in a photo with the needle pulling the skin away as it's coming out? Is there a way for her to make her point in not this way?
Well, I would think there's a myriad of ways to make that point other than that. It honestly, the grossness of that photo is the social part of it, but it's the skin is pulling out. That's a gross photo. It's a gross shot.
Her happiness and the point that she's making in this and seeing the pain in that kid's face. It's a shot. If it were the flu shot and you did this, I would say, what are you doing? Like, take a picture of them getting a sticker and a sucker afterwards and a thumbs up, like maybe a sad thumbs up, and say, got our flu shot today or got our COVID booster today or whatever it is. This is not that's a whole different conversation about the point she's making. It's the how.
No, it's that
what's
glee.
wrong.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's that glee versus the pain and fear on that kid's face that is taking away from the point. If anything, it's making me think at least wow, I wouldn't want to do that to a kid.
Well, Tara LaRosa had tweeted this picture and said, Cersei Lannister. If you know, you know. If you don't, that's a Game of Thrones reference. And I tweeted it and I said, there's no millimeter of my maternal heart that isn't broken by this gleeful pimping of a child's pain. Shame is right. So just to bring this full circle, Ryan, we're coming back to you here in a second.
Oh, are we?
Because this is the way Twitter works. Somebody named John, whose avatar on Twitter is a cat with glasses, went through my Twitter profile and screenshot a tweet of mine and said, you posted this, a child getting hurt, but okay, with the shrug emoji. So the screenshot that he put out there to prove that I am a major hypocrite, and maybe I am, and if I am, shame on me too. Shame, shame, shame. TJ tweeted at some point, TJ Barklage on Twitter tweeted out at Annie Fry Show, at Radio Wiggins. Hashtag Wiggins America is an absolute dumpster fire right now. And I tweeted this GIF, which is a child playing like a life-size version of Jenga and the Jenga falling over on the child.
Yeah. I think I remember that day.
I don't remember what that was for, but it was October 13th of 2021. So he only really had to go back 2 months for me to find something where I was gleefully celebrating the pain of children.
Oh, because the Jenga thing's falling down?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
It's the same.
I could, even on first blush, I didn't even make that connection. Okay. All right.
You posted this, a child getting hurt, but okay. Wiggins America gets me in trouble again. I cannot win with this.
That brings me joy.
I don't want to diss you.
Can you read that? Can you read that tweet? Was it a tweet or a comment?
It was a Facebook comment.
Facebook comment?
But I think it's important to address.
I'm going to lean into it, just so you know.
I know you are. We pregame this in the break. I said, do you want to talk about this now or do you want to talk about this on the air? He goes, we talk about it on the air. And I was like, you're going to make me look like an awful person. He's like, but then I'll bring it back. I was like, all right, so here we go.
I don't commit to keep that promise.
Do you think that I'm holding you to it?
No.
Annette on Facebook says, several times when listening to your show, it seemed you were dissing Ryan. What's up with that? I don't like to hear it. I really like Ryan and wouldn't miss his Saturday morning show, which is on 6 to 8 a.m.
6 to 8 a.m. Saturdays here, 97.1 FM Talk.
You sent this message, didn't you? This is you.
My mom's name might be Annette.
This is a plug for your Wiggins America show on 97.1 at 6 to 8. This is where it all comes back to.
How do I get her to talk about my show? How do I get the next one's going to be Annette being like, I don't like the way Annie talks about Ryan's novel that he wrote over 12 years.
Which you can find on Amazon.
Which you can find on
Something about
Amazon.com.
robots. Robots
Yeah,
everywhere.
The Life of Human.
Life of Human.
Yeah.
Anyway, I really like Ryan and wouldn't miss his Saturday morning show, 6 to 8 a.m. on 97.1.
Yeah.
Are you just messing with him? I'm worried. I prefer peace and harmony in all caps among friends.
I do too, Annette. I would assume.
Here we go.
I would assume that everybody was friends, but then sometimes I'm like, gosh, I just don't know. Like today, for instance, I walk in and Brad, you can contest to this. I gave Annie a present.
Contest to this?
You can attest to this. I think I maybe said the A through my nose and it sounded like a C.
Because you said a C.
I gave Annie a present today, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
You gave her macaroons.
My favorite things. Macaroons.
Macaroons.
Different than macaroons.
Okay.
And I guess
they're all gone
in the
now, by the
first
way.
2 segments, she just talked about me negatively the whole time.
I didn't.
I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't here. And that's part of the problem is that when I'm not here, that tends to happen.
I don't like your tone.
Are you
It's
doing
so
a
put
thing?
on.
I think he's
Will you-
doing a thing.
He's doing a thing.
He's
Will you
for
at
sure
least
doing
do
a
this as
thing.
Ryan Shire Wigglesworth?
No, because then that makes it a character and I want to be genuine.
I'll wait. That's not a
Seriously.
diss. For folks, that's not a diss.
Okay, here's me bringing it back though. If we weren't
Are you
friends,
serious?
if we weren't friends,
Uh-huh.
you can't actually do this kind of thing with people that you don't like. Right?
That's why I don't do it to Brad. Just kidding.
Bravo! Bravo. Let's go to break, Brad. That was a great ending.
Also kidding. I like Brad. I helped get him hired.
Yeah, no, never live that down.
Is there more or is that it?
No, that's it. We're
Great.
friends.
Wait
No,
a-
we're actually friends in that. Anyway, let's talk about the GOP's chances in 2022.
I'm surprised it's not more Wiggins America.
You can hit the button anytime, Brad.
I can't. No, you cannot. Do you feel the pull? You don't know what to do. Do they like each other? Do they hate each other? It's
Ooh,
hard
we don't
to
know.
tell.
We don't know.
Erica says, and I love this because Erica, I feel like, has a love-hate relationship with this show.
Yeah, it's okay.
Erica is one of my favorite listeners because she basically told us she's forced to listen to the show because her boss listens to it. And I was like, well, at least he likes it. And then she was like, no, he hates it too.
Yeah,
So
everybody around her hates it,
I'm like,
but won't turn it off.
I don't know who to thank or what, but thanks. Said they're not dissing Ryan Everett. You just need to calm down. I mean, if you hear it and you don't listen on a regular basis, maybe it's kind of a brother-sister thing.
Kind of.
And sometimes he's just out of control.
Yeah, you never know. And you never know whether I'm being real or not. And right now, I don't know either. Let's go to break.
Trisha, how would you explain it?
I like this.
I mean, Brad, as a listener, you've been listening to the show for a long time. How long does it take for Ryan to get into a point before you know if he's going to offer something that is incredibly
Profound.
Yeah.
Deep.
Content?
Life altering.
I'm still waiting.
Relevant?
Yeah, there it is.
That's a promo. That's today's promo right there.
See, and I have no power over that, so it just is what it is. I do notice that a lot of our promos have Ryan in them. So you have any questions as to who's making the promos? He's like, man, that one thing I did was really profound
that's
on your
great.
show.
Mark that. Mark the tape.
You don't. He has a twinkle in his eye, which you can't hear over the radio. Although I bet if you pay enough attention, you probably can hear the twinkle. And he starts saying something, and he can't contain the smile on his face. It starts to creep into a smirk, and then I'm like, here we go. This is it. Off the rails. And it reminds me of the Gutfeld show I was watching last week, where it gets so off the rails. Greg Gutfeld says to Kat Timpf, Kat, answer the question you want me to ask you. And I'm like, I know exactly how that feels. Ryan Wiggins.
Wait, who derailed it though? Was it Kat or was it Tyrus?
Kat was just sitting there, kind of like Trish is, just like waiting for her turn to weigh in on something. And the rest of the guests were just kind of bouncing around and making it's Gutfeld. If you haven't watched it yet, when it kind of goes off the rail, they just kind of let it go and they let it play out. And that makes it much more entertaining, which I think also is the case here on our show. But eventually somebody in the room has to be responsible to right the ship. And sometimes I'm sitting here going, I just don't really know what to do or who to ask about what. Because what were we talking about in the first place?
Do you think Gutfeld's found a lane?
Yes.
I do
because
too.
everybody drastically drove out of it. It wasn't like it didn't exist. just nobody else was driving on it.
Well, I think the problem is the rest of the shows all said, we're going to be a comedy show. And they're not. They're politics. But Gutfeld said from the beginning, we're going to talk politics from a comedic angle. And I think it's working. I'm surprised because watching him at 10 o'clock on Saturdays, I thought, I don't think he's going to be able to transition to weeknights, but I do think he's done it.
I think it's totally where he belongs.
Yeah, I do too.
Vicky says volunteering to play Jenga as opposed to being forced by a parent to get a shot, implying that it's different. James says full-size Jenga is a life lesson for that kid about physics, not a shot in the arm. Tara says Wiggins America on Saturday mornings with Ryan and Trisha is awesome. I guess your check's in the mail, Tara.
Thank you, Tara.
And Erica says, hey, I actually like the show now and it drives my boss crazy.
All right. That's the best one of the day.
She says I'll sing the theme song to him when he's annoying me. I just love that we are part of your coworker angst, which we also have here, apparently.
Oh, yeah. All the time.
You should hear
Except
Ryan
when we're
Wiggins
not.
sing my intro to me. It's the worst and the best at the same time.
Make an appointment, 2 o'clock on Friday.
Yep, it is the best. All right. So I was talking earlier in the show about my Monday. I had the Mondayest Monday of Mondays. Did you hear that we found the keys?
I was here when you found it.
Yeah.
I heard that. Yeah. And you did have a Monday.
Yes.
Like it was really
Trisha knows the
Monday.
most about my Mondayest Monday, but it is what it is. And we're halfway through the Monday. And I asked at the beginning of the show, when you're having a Monday, even if it's not on Monday, how do you break the cycle of that? Because it does have a way. It's like kind of a breeding contagious type of a thing. Like one thing can lead to the other. Like I said, I was making my blueberry protein shake this morning and I stuck my wooden spoon too far into it. It chunked off into the shake, which meant I had to throw the whole thing away. And when you're having a day, that feels worse than if you weren't having a day.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's like, oh, dang it, I got to remake it. And I said, if you have suggestions on how to break the cycle, join the live chat on the Annie Fry YouTube channel or the Annie Fry Show Facebook page and tell us how you break the cycle. And Larry suggested on our Facebook page, he said, make a list of 10 things you're thankful for and start it with the fact that you woke up this morning. Great exercise. I love it. So when we come back, the four of us are going to tell you 5 things that we are thankful for. And I hope that gives you an opportunity to think about things you're thankful for as well. If you're having a bad day, maybe it makes you have a better day. If you're having a good day, it's going to make your day better. So stick around. More Annie Fry Show in a minute.
The ones that look like Santa Claus, Christmas trees.
You're
and
listening to
bells
the
and
Annie Fry
stars.
Show.
Do like those Christmas cookies. baby.
Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
Christmas cookies are a special treat. The more she bakes, the more I eat. And sometimes I can't get myself to stop. Sometimes she'll wait till I'm asleep.
A
She'll
weekday
take the
lineup
ones
that
I
makes you think. Mornings with Mark Cox and Brian Kilmeade. Afternoons with Annie Fry and Mark Reardon, where St. Louis comes to talk. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
STS Armory online at sts-armory.com. Your Christmas shopping list not quite finished yet? Go to STS Armory. They've got something for you or for your loved one, and they're the best. Katie and Jesse, the owners at STS Armory in Pontoon Beach, Illinois, are experts at everything firearms, especially there in Illinois. They know how to navigate the system in the state of Illinois that is cumbersome and complicated. They get it. They know it, and they will work with you to get you the firearm that you're looking for, the situation that you are trying to accomplish. They'll help you with that. They are so knowledgeable. They have the best training sessions. I had a family member who just completed his CCL renewal with STS Armory, had nothing but great things to say about the training. That's another opportunity for a great gift for a loved one is firearm safety training, firearm if you want to do conceal and carry, all sorts of different things. Like I've said before, at STS Armory, those people train the trainers, so reach out to them so they can train you as well. 618-931-4867. That's 618-931-GUNS. Online at sts-armory.com.
You want to know what wagertainment is? It's the picks, the analysis, the information, mixed with the laughter and the entertainment. Smart sports betting content that'll put a smile on your face.
The BetQL Network, streaming live each day and helping you bet smarter.
If you're a sports fan, you know why you should listen. It's sports betting content without the BS. No hot takes, no nonsense.
All the insight you need to bet smarter is at BetQL.com. And listen to the BetQL Network, streaming live right now on Odyssey.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Pineview Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical advancement that has helped thousands of men. The WAVE technology at Pineview Medical Clinic was tested by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic, and the results are in. It's proven to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED by treating the root cause, call us now, and not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique that produces powerful and instant results in the bedroom. I don't think I've ever seen it fail. This is a $600 value, free to those that call in the next 2 minutes. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now to qualify. 314-530-7777.
Dealing with car repairs can feel like a lose-lose situation because you lose your money and you lose your time. Mark Cox here for my friends at Car Shield. If you don't have the right coverage, just one repair can bleed you dry. Since I called Car Shield, I don't have to worry about expensive repairs anymore. Their administrators handle the paperwork and expensive payments, so I don't have to. That's a win-win. Seriously, they could save you thousands. I get to pick my mechanic to do the work. CarShield's administrators take care of the rest. It's like having your own personal team of auto repair problem solvers, and they can provide roadside assistance, rental coverage, trip reimbursement, all at no additional charge, whether your car has 5,000 miles or 150,000 miles. They have monthly coverage options to fit your budget. Get coverage today. Find out why CarShield cars go farther. Visit carshield.com/KFTK to save 10%. That's carshield.com/KFTK. A deductible may apply.
The Big Hardy has 2 juicy charbroiled beef patties, melted cheese, and classic sauce. It's what you order from Hardee's when you want a big meal. A big, beefy, melted, cheesy meal. And with 3 juicy charbroiled beef patties, the really big Hardy is what you order when you want a really big meaty meal. A really big charbroiled beefy meal. A really big, beefy, melted, cheesy, juicy, tasty. You get the idea. The Big Hardy and Really Big Hardy at Hardee's. Order ahead at Hardee's.com. Feed your happy. Available for a limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price participation may vary. Only fools rushing.
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Before we get into things that we're thankful for, and maybe Juicy Smollett, Juicy Smollett, I can't get it. I've called him Juicy Smollett so many times. Thank you, Dave Chappelle. That I think his name is actually Juicy Smollett.
I have a tough time remembering his actual name when you talk about him because you say Juicy Smollett so much.
I know. It's like if you watch Tucker Carlson, he purposely mispronounces everybody's name and every name, like Omicron or whatever. I don't know. It's like he's very purposeful in the way he mispronounces things. I have to check myself sometimes. But yeah, Juicy Smollett. I just think it's better. I don't know that I have the liberty to just like do that. Better with people's names. Are you guys following it at all, Brian?
I'm following it basically through the Babylon Bee. I mean that's
all going to be true in like 6 months anyway.
Yeah. I mean, that's the seriousness with which this trial deserves, or the case, I should say. The trial is real, but the case is so stupid.
Trisha, are you like?
I haven't. Have there been any updates? I was surprised that it had taken this long.
He's taking the stand in his own defense, according to Fox.
Oh, okay.
The Babylon Bee today's thing
so.
Was Jussie Smollett. Did you see it? Jussie Smollett declares that he is not fit for trial because he's actually dead. like this morning, he was killed by MAGA protesters, and therefore
in the
his
heart
soul,
of Chicago.
Yeah.
Lord, if we had MAGA people in the heart of Chicago, Illinois wouldn't be so screwed. Brad, are you like at the edge of your seat?
No.
Why should any of us care at all what happens?
Well, I think we should care because it shows the balance of power in the United States. I mean, it shows that this guy was using a power that people say doesn't exist to gain influence and further his career. I mean, that's what he was trying to do. But people say, no, that doesn't exist. but he was using it actively and he got caught.
Here's something to think about. The way that the media and our politicians, including the man who is now currently the president of the United States, he was a candidate then, spoke about Kyle Rittenhouse and predisposed the country to what Kyle Rittenhouse did and who he was, all turned out to be false. Kyle Rittenhouse has been acquitted of everything. Not guilty, not guilty, not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. 5 pounds? Yeah. Not guilty. That's a pretty bold statement, considering the things that we heard from all of the big voices that have the big microphones, the big cameras, the big stage, that he was a murdering white supremacist. So a fabricated story about Kyle Rittenhouse turned out to be completely untrue. And we still have people in the media and we still have an American public who thinks that Kyle Rittenhouse got off scot-free and is a white supremacist murderer. Jussie Smollett made up the entire thing himself. Again, you had pundit after pundit after politician after news anchor talking about the racist activity. I mean, like when you listen to these montages of what people were saying in the wake of, I guess this is just America today.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lie. It was a fabricated lie by Jussie. He made it up. And it's not convenient to the narrative that it was a made up story for his own personal gain. People so willfully believed it because there was a suggestion that he, as a gay black man, was attacked by MAGA hat wearing people in the cold night in Chicago. I mean, like, none of it makes any sense, but because it's not advantageous to the narrative that is out there by the mainstream media, all of that stuff just kind of goes by the wayside. We don't talk about it anymore.
So, like, one of the things that I heard, I said I hadn't been following it closely, but like the ridiculousness of his claims, like one of the ththings that he said now, because it's those two brothers, I forget their names, they were supposedly helping him work out and build his physique. They had told him, this is what he claimed. They told me that I needed to go get some eggs to eat before the workout. But like, if you remember the story, what was he coming home with? Was Subway tuna melt. So he said, but I got to the thing, decided
I know a lot about this.
I decided,
I'm not following closely.
It was a 6-inch tuna melt, but you know, Subway, they're really 5 inches.
He said, I decided I didn't want eggs anymore, so I got a tuna melt from Subway.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. It's all ridiculous.
That sounds like the Blonde Bee.
It does. And the thing that I hate about it is he's using everyday people who voted for Trump. He's basically blackballing them to raise his own career and his own profile.
I mean, that's the thing that makes, like, going back to Ryan's point for a second, that's the thing that makes it interesting, right? Is that this guy's lying because he believes popular opinion is on his side to his advantage. And we have to see if, as a country, we're going to let him get away with it.
Yeah.
And hope, I mean, I don't know. I'm not there. I mean, maybe he takes a stand and sways the jury and convinces them that this is all, that he didn't make it all up. But
what is this, MAGA country?
Is that what they he said? They yelled as they beat him?
Put a noose around his neck.
They beat him, put a noose around his neck, and yelled, "This is MAGA country."
Yes. I mean, I cannot tell you how much you need to listen to Dave Chappelle go through the details of the story and explain why Dave Chappelle thinks there is no plausibility whatsoever to. He's like, it's like freezing temperatures outside in the dead of night in Chicago, and two black guys in MAGA hats come up and attack you for your side.
To the media's credit, I can see why they would go, "Oh, this fits right in with everything we've been saying all along." Oh my God.
There's a few
please.
details that seem to be a little bit off, but we're just not going to cover those.
I'm not worried about that. The rest of this is fantastic. Let's go with this. Joy Reid.
I mean, wow,
Yes.
what a nutcase. Like jackpot.
Right.
Sorry, not buying it. I mean, I live in the state of Illinois. That didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And
That's
we watched
not
the
true.
whole state.
Yes, we do.
And
Fake
we didn't
news.
see it, so it didn't happen.
All right. We were talking earlier about my Monday today, and we have found the keys that I lost. My husband had them in his coat pocket the whole time.
Did you text him back yet?
I did.
Was it nice?
It was.
Good for you.
I will literally tell you what I said to him just so I get credit for not being as mean as I could have.
Like you are to me.
Did you take my keys? Did you put my keys in Jared's pocket?
It's always tomorrow.
I said, I don't know if you were listening on air, but I'm happy you found the keys and I'm not mad.
Oh, I don't know, Annie.
Wouldn't you appreciate that from your wife if you knew you kind of made her day a little more difficult and she was like, I mean, I guess you read that and he's probably going, I wonder if this means she really is mad.
Yeah.
But she wants it in
what that
writing
means
that she's
is I'm not mad. I'm just upset.
She didn't put a smiley face. I think she's really actually mad.
Yeah.
And he said, thank you for saying you're not mad. I was listening a bit, but must not have heard what you're referencing. So there you go.
That's like a little bit like when your boss
It's nice
says,
to know you, Jared.
well, your show wasn't bad. You
Wasn't
go,
bad.
you don't go, wait a minute now. He said it wasn't bad. You go, he didn't say it was good.
I can't remember what it was. We were interviewing somebody and the audio was it was Amy Kessel when we were talking to her about the police protests in Chicago. She was waiting for the subway train.
Oh yeah.
And it was a great conversation. And she, she's a police officer and she is also a Republican committee woman, I think, in Chicago. Great conversation to have. But like, I don't know how often subway trains go by, but we'd be talking all of a sudden be like in the background, and I'm like, so I'm trying to talk over this. I have no idea the words that I was saying. None. The train must have been 14 trains long because it just kept going. And after that, I had a meeting as I was pre-scheduled to do with my boss. And I was like, that is the worst segment of radio I have ever done. I had no idea. He's like, oh, that's not true. I was like, alrighty then. Okey-dokey.
Thank you.
Good to know. I feel encouraged.
What would be amazing now, and this is a challenge to you as a broadcaster.
See, if you can't hear the twinkle in his eye, it's happening right now.
Is he challenging you?
He's like a 10-year-old child who just got a whoopee cushion. Go on. Let us have it.
Subway has now been brought up twice in this segment.
Yeah?
In two different ways.
Okay.
Can you make it 3?
No, but I bet you can.
We'll see. We got a little time. We'll work on it.
Anyway, I was saying that I had a very Monday today. And I asked you, if you're listening right now, to tell me how you break your Monday cycle. If it's going wrong, how do you make it right? A lot of you commented day drinking. So that was an option.
Huh.
I'm drinking Diet Pepsi now. So that's about as day drinking as I get. But Larry commented that he said, make a list of 10 things you're thankful for and start it with waking up today. And I thought that's actually a very good exercise. So I want to go around the room right now and just quickly with each of us, I said, let's all make a list of 5 things we're thankful for and throw them out there. And I encourage you, if you're having a rough day, do this. If you're having a good day, do this and you'll feel even better about it. But Brad, we'll start with you. What 5 things are you thankful for?
5 things. The very first thing on my list is my wife. And I'm thankful to have a wife who puts up with my crap because I am an extra person to deal with at home.
That's extra is the word we use for my 5-year-old.
The second thing is my church family who puts up with my crap because I'm an extra person. I'm the youth minister at the church and we're all a little bit extra. I'm super thankful for my health. It may not sound that way, but having heart attacks has actually forced me to take a realistic look and take my health more seriously.
We could talk about that more again sometime. And he's talked about it before, but you've had 3 heart attacks?
Yes.
And you're in your late 30s.
Yes. And then my fourth thing is I'm thankful to have a job where I don't get splattered with crap.
Is that your
I'm not here. That's on my list too.
My previous job.
Crossing that crap.
Yeah,
my previous
crap specifically.
My previous job, I
that
mowed,
reminds me, I gotta write something down.
I mowed yards. Oh no.
Ryan's in the line of fire.
I mowed yards and when you'd be weed eating, if somebody didn't pick up after their dog, there's a very real possibility.
I thought that lawn mowing was how you picked up after your dog.
No,
I guess
don't be that person. And then the fifth thing I'm thankful for is just humor in general. Just humor.
Brian just mouths to me. I am too.
I don't want to derail him or be a jerk, but
yeah, you wouldn't want to do that to Brad.
No.
I see.
Well,
you
I don't
don't
challenge Brad to
considerate
be
for that.
broadcasting excellence.
Trisha.
Mine's some version of the same thing. Health, family, and personal. I'm happy to have I'm thankful for a home over my head and food in my belly and a really strong support system of family and friends and a job that makes me smile.
Oh,
I am
which job
thankful.
is that?
Oh, is
She's back at Applebee's, guys.
Yeah, right. 2 for 20.
It's like 2 for 25 now, inflation.
Well, I was going to say I'm thankful
Not like it's a
for
Subway
home
sandwich.
over my head and food in my
The
belly
big 3.
and not getting sprayed with
Will you
crap.
start over? We weren't paying attention.
No, that's fine. I'm done.
Do you have anything that Brad and I didn't say?
No,
Start
I
over.
just wrote down what.
You
Okay.
just took notes.
Yeah, home over
Brian
my
forgot
head,
we were doing this.
food in my belly.
Do you guys
Not
remember
getting
that
sprayed
time
with
where we
crap.
did I Got a Friend Who, and he just told him another story about himself, but it didn't have anything to do with any of us, and it was just
And there was no question.
we're all sitting here
Yeah,
like
it
leaning
wasn't
in
a
like
discussion.
what
It
are
was
we
just
supposed
a cool
to? And then he
story.
goes,
Super
"What
cool
am I
story.
supposed to have a question here?" It's like, oh.
It was the time he kidnapped somebody as an Uber driver, right? It was that conversation. And then
No.
went
all I know is it
backwards down
ended up at a
bike
homeless
trail.
cemetery.
Yes. With no question.
That's right.
There was no question.
No, the question
What-
was, have you ever been to a
what-
homeless cemetery?
What questions would you have to ask that would be relevant?
No idea.
Why would I diss Ryan Wiggins?
Right.
There's
All
not
right.
anything
real,
possible
real,
to criticize.
real quick here, because I got 2 real ones, but 3 of them,
5 things you're thankful for.
3 of them are all related to things I did this weekend. One, I'm thankful for easy light displays
Mm.
because when I was a kid, it took you all day to put up the lights. Now you can do stuff in probably a half an hour if you're really going for it. And wet ground to stake everything down because usually at this time it's hard to get the stakes in. And I'm thankful for good neighbors who are consistently fixing my lawnmower for me because it constantly
Keep mowing
breaks,
over that
Brad.
dog crap.
I don't know who's
Constantly
exactly
breaks
what
up
it is.
I don't know what
Brad.
this is. We don't have a dog, but I'm mowing it. The real 2 are having
I like how he doesn't even pretend that the other ones.
well,
No.
I mean,
weren't
those
serious.
are surface. They're real. They're just surface level. These are deeper. First, priorities. Having my priorities in place. I felt like the whole month of November I didn't.
What?
And, yeah, my
Is that
family.
what was happening?
It felt like my family was coming second, and it felt like we had a great weekend, and was just like, you know what? I need to be spending more time with my family, and I am. And December is awesome.
So what
Yeah.
you're thankful for is your family
I'm thankful for my family and just having worked out my
and the
priorities.
understanding that they're
Yes.
the priority.
Yes. And then second, perspective on, and this is a really big one, all the news that we talk about all the time. In light of each individual news story, they can be very depressing. But if you take a step back and you consider, like, what is God doing? I just believe he's up to something, and it makes everything okay. You can kind of deal with every individual thing if you take that step back. So that's what I'm thankful
Also
for.
perspective.
Yes.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'll give you my 5 things and quickly enough, and we'll have some more fun conversation. Please join us on the Annie Fry YouTube channel, the Annie Fry Show Facebook page, and tell us what you're thankful for. Maybe some things that are, realizations that you've had in 2021 that you realize, you know what, I'm actually pretty grateful for that. We'll have that conversation in just a minute. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie. The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Jesse Jane Duff. I would like to say something about Bob Dole. In 2016, the Republican convention, none of the previous nominees or presidents for the Republican Party showed up but Bob Dole. Not one.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
So Thomas Helbig and the Retirement Advisory Group, 314-993-9494. Your guy when it comes to planning for your retirement, pre-retirees, folks who are very close to retirement, folks who maybe have just entered into retirement. Thomas Helbig has never had a client lose a penny. That is a bold statement. It's a true statement. Why not be a part of that statement? When you call Thomas Helbig at 314-993-9494, you're going to set up a no-cost, no obligation, hear that, free retirement review. And when you come in to talk to him, to give him answers to the questions that they're going to ask you, he's going to give you a copy of his 2nd edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Worry-Free retirement, that sounds pretty nice. And when you're looking at the economy right now and you're thinking, what's it going to be like in 5 years when I want to retire, maybe 10 years when I want to retire, If you have some trepidation about that, get rid of it with Thomas Helbig. 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. Call Thomas Helbig at the Retirement Advisory Group and set your appointment up today. Online at retirementkey.com.
We've done it again.
While other lenders are talking about raising their rates, our expert team at Golden Oak Lending has dropped rates even lower.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. With the low rate of 1.875% and home values at all-time highs, you can get more cash out of your home or eliminate pricey mortgage insurance.
Call 314-567-GOLD today to get your refinance started within minutes and make no mortgage payments until next year.
After all, our team speaks mortgage and loves translating it for customers. We can save you even more money with our 1.875% rate.
Plus, you'll never pay up front for your appraisal at Golden Oak. Call 314-567-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Landing, short my blues.
NMLS 114937, 1.875% fixed, 2.952% APR, FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
At Performance Eye Care, we put the utmost care in our eye exams. If you're avoiding your eye appointment because you fear the dreaded air puff or you're scared of leaving with dilated eyes for the rest of the day, worry no more. By utilizing the latest technology, we've been able to eliminate the uncomfortable air puff, and we don't need to dilate your eyes. That means no anticipatory blinking and no discomfort. Just a simple, state-of-the-art instrument yielding more accurate results. Now is the time to use up your FSA, HSA, and vision insurance coverage before the end of the year. You can apply your FSA and health spending accounts on exams, contact lenses, and even eyeglasses. We can verify your coverage and still get you in before the end of the year so you don't lose your benefits. Make an appointment with one of our friendly eye care professionals at any of our 8 metro area locations on both sides of the river at performanceeyecare.com. That's performanceeyecare.com.
Diamonds Direct is giving you one more holiday gift of 25% savings just in time for Christmas. A last-minute sale on all earrings this weekend. Yes, save an unprecedented 25% off all earrings at Diamonds Direct. Diamond earrings, sapphire earrings, gold earrings. Get Diamonds Direct's unbeatable price plus an extra 25% savings. Whole diamond studs are included, so this is huge. Special financing too. It's Friday through Sunday only. A truly epic earring event at Diamonds Direct. Details, directions, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get your furnace ready for cold weather with a heating system check included with all maintenance plans from Air Comfort Service. Maintenance plans starting at $15 per month. For more details and to get into your comfort zone, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Bringing you up-to-the-minute traffic like nobody else. Sue Thomas and dependable traffic, driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
Change your mind. Go about leaving me behind. Oh, bring it to me. Bring your sweet loving. Bring it all home to me. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. So we've been talking about things that we're thankful for. We did get Ryan's list, which he was, what did you say? Wet ground? Was that one of the things you're thankful for?
Yeah, wet ground.
Wet ground.
And easy light displays.
Mm-hmm. And then I got super deep. I turned it on a dime.
Did
and
you?
Then we got super deep, and you guys were like, whoa, this guy is amazing.
That's exactly how it went.
Barriers. He put his family on the list.
If you really want to hear how that went, you can go to the Odyssey app and you can rewind like 10 minutes and you can hear how that is exactly how that went.
Yeah, you should do that.
Look at his face. Look at his face. He doesn't even take himself seriously. I'm getting in trouble for dissing Ryan Wiggins because I don't take this dude seriously. And look at him.
I think he's doing it to you on purpose.
I don't know who I'm doing it to.
To me on purpose.
I don't know who the target audience is here.
It's like, Annie, you should
I'm having
really
a good
lighten
time.
up on
It's
Ryan.
like waving a red cape in front of a bull. It's like
Toro, Ryan Wiggins, Toro.
It doesn't even matter that they're red, right, Brad?
People,
Now you're doing it to Brad.
yeah, people who think that I'm like angry at Ryan Wiggins don't see that he is laughing so hard, bouncing his shoulders. Tune into the webcam. He is completely entertained by himself.
They call this gaslighting.
He doesn't even. Yeah, he doesn't. I don't even need to
He's
be
doing it
here.
to everybody.
He could be doing this by himself. You crying now?
Good time.
Yeah, because the moral of the story is that people think that I'm being mean to you.
Well, they're right.
I've been nice.
You can let it go for the last 5 minutes here. Just let it go.
Let go what?
Go after anything you could. Nothing's off limits. Bring it. You were making fun of me and bouncing my shoulders, having a really good time. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But just let it out.
I quit. I'm done.
So what were you thankful
Where's
for?
Brad Young? Get him in here.
I think Mark Reardon's coming in. Not
See, it
Brad
says
Young.
Ryan Wiggins. Scratch that right off the list there. Okay.
Okay. Thankful for Trisha Siekman.
Move her to the
Not
top
getting
of the list.
sprayed with dog crap.
Now people are going to think that has to do with me. And that's going to go. I just don't feel comfortable with you spraying Ryan Wiggins with dog crap.
Yeah.
And I think that's not a nice thing that you do to him.
Please write that. Please write that on the Facebook page. Please. Who cares? Who
Let that
cares?
go.
Who cares?
Is that an Ellen Page?
Page.
What?
What?
I thought you,
I want to know what you're
Crap.
thankful
I
for.
thought you said Ellen Page.
I did not.
And I was like, why are we going there?
I think
Why
her
is
name is not that
it's
anymore.
not?
though.
It's Elliot.
That's right. Sam Elliott Page.
Also not true. It's not that I don't like him, guys. That's not it. It's just hard. It's just like
It feels like I haven't seen you guys in like 2 weeks, but we were just here Friday.
oh, it feels like it was yesterday.
Yeah,
Ryan.
I'm sure it does.
Can we get hazard pay?
You should.
Are you gonna do your thankful thing?
I have to get into a thankful mindset.
Do like I did and do it's funny, but then boom, boom, bring it. Lay it on the people.
Do it like I did. Funny, and then boom, boom, bring it. I can't believe this is my life.
I like wet ground and putting up lights, but also think about
Then he brought it home,
God.
and he didn't know it was coming. But then his serious things were that he was thankful for his family and God.
that's right.
Didn't see that coming.
No, you did not.
I didn't see it coming after the wet ground.
That's right. So I could put stakes in the ground
First, I
easier.
was going to talk about my husband and being thankful for him. I would put my kids on there, but there's a thing about there are moments. I know that this is obvious, but it becomes profound at different times in your relationship with your husband or with your spouse, and your kids are around. You know, there's a lot of people who say that the kids become the priority, and your relationship with your significant other, like, it's not that it takes a back seat necessarily, but I have 4 kids. They take up a lot of our time. But it really struck me, I think it was last week, that my kids are a product of my relationship with my husband. So my relationship with my husband had to come first in order for them to be a part of our life. And we've been talking about building a house. And when we're thinking about building a house, it's forcing me to think about what happens when the kids move out. And I have a 6-month at home. So that causes me to go like, whoa, whiplash. But to think about like, what does the home that I want to have look like in 20 years from now when it's just us again? And I just can't, like, all of the things that will happen in those 20 years with my kids obviously being the driving force behind what we do with all of our time, but just knowing that my relationship with my husband has to be the priority, even over the kids. Like that's a weird thing to say because your kids are your everything and they do drive basically everything you do in your life, but you have to keep that a priority, and that relationship is important. And even when things are difficult, like your husband takes your keys to work with him, that causes a frustration, but it really is not that big of a deal. It's really not. So that's kind of what made me think about that. And that's kind of how my Monday became a Monday. The next thing is grandparents, because at least my children have amazing grandparents who are always, they just love those grandkids so hard. And it is funny to watch. I know for my husband to watch his parents grandparent our kids. Same thing for me. It's just so different. The way grandparents interact with kids versus the way they interact with you. And you're like frequently going, where was this in the 80s or the 90s? Like, what? This is not how I remember it. And they're all like, yeah, we know. That's absolutely right. You were our kids. These are our grandkids. It's just different. But it does take a village. And if you're fortunate enough to have grandparents around, or if you're listening and you have grandkids around, you are a blessing. You're irreplaceable. And I think it's so important to say that. The next thing I'm going to say is parochial education, whether it's Catholic, non-denominational, Lutheran, which I support greatly, the option to be able to send your kids to somewhere else. If you have not looked into that option for your kid and you're concerned about the public school system, reach out. You might be very surprised at how affordable it can be for you. And it's very important to me for my kids to be raised in that environment right now. And then the last two, which may sound schmaltzy, but I absolutely mean it. The first one is the sponsors to the show, because the truth of the matter is, I know you guys hate the commercial breaks. That's how I literally feed my kids. And the people who, when I talk to you about people who sponsor the show, when you call them and use them because we talk about it here, same thing with Mark and Mark, the whole station, you get to turn your radio on in 97.1 for free, and you get to turn it off for free. It costs you nothing to do either one of those things. And that's only because we have sponsors. And when you patronize those sponsors because you like our show and you want us to stick around, it's a huge ask for me to use people who sponsor us, because it seems selfish, but they're also people who believe in what we're doing here, which brings me to my last thing. The listeners of this show and of the station, like, I feel blessed every day that I get to come in here, even when it doesn't immediately hit me, to know that what I get to do here is talk to you about the things that are important and to have a conversation with you. Because I really look at what I get to do as a conversation, because I'm not an expert on much of anything. And I care about a lot of things, and I have access because Brad and Trisha are working their tails off to make sure that we have great guests who are experts to come on the show and have conversations with us. I also have Ryan Wiggins. He does things, and we work really hard as a
darn right we do.
Team to put together a show that is entertaining for you and hopefully informative, but mostly entertaining. And I guess that does involve you, Ryan.
Thank you. Our lists were so similar. I said almost that exact same thing.
I mean it.
I do too.
Anybody want a peanut? You know what that's from?
Princess Bride.
Yes, it is.
Yes. You got it first.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have gotten it. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Andre the Giant.
I need to
Yeah.
watch
Are there
that.
rocks ahead?
Stop rhyming. I mean it.
Anybody want
Anybody want a peanut? I love that movie. Thank you for listening today. Thank you for helping me get through my Monday. It's not over yet, so I will continue to brace myself for whatever Monday has in store for me outside of here. Please, if you haven't yet, go subscribe to the Annie Fry YouTube channel, the Annie Fry Show Facebook page. You give us a like there and stay connected with the show. The Mark Reardon Show is coming up next, so please don't go anywhere. Mark will be here in just a minute, so go away.
Another glass of that rock and roll. Turn up the band, find the hole, gonna lose control tonight. What do you want from me? I'm not a married sweetheart. So beat the drum.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Santa here to tell you about a great gift opportunity from the folks at Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. Now, I'm sure you've heard all about the fantastic home warranty at Upkeep. Well, you see, Upkeep offers a full home warranty program that also includes your vinyl home maintenance. They cover things like electrical, plumbing, appliances, and your furnace and AC, too. Upkeep's very own technicians come out to your home 4 times a year to perform all the needed maintenance to keep things running like new. A home warranty from Upkeep makes a wonderful gift for those loved ones that may need help taking care of their home. To find out more, visit upkeepstl.com or give them a call at 636-387-7331. Simply type in Santa at checkout and you'll receive $150 off through December. Ho, 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 ho.
Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep, and you'll have a happy home.
Selling your home's a huge deal. You want to sell it fast and for the highest price with zero hassles, right? Mark Cox here. That's why I always recommend Gloria Liu with GL International Realty and the Coldwell Banker Premier Group. Gloria continues to change the real estate game with multiple